Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Crossroads Podcast, your place to get the latest news, events, and discussion in the world of PlayStation, PC, and Xbox gaming. You know me. I'm your host, LeRon Dawkins, and here with me tonight, I just want to go ahead, get this started right now, and welcome to our crew, our brand new co-host, Mr. Andre Wilson. What's up, dude?
Hello. I am honored. It's an honor and pleasure to be here, boys. Honor and pleasure.
Hey, glad to have you here. You don't know the type of ride you're in for, but you'll find out eventually.
I'm a kind of person who I'd rather get thrown in the shit and just kind of learn to adapt. So
I wouldn't say
swim.
I wouldn't say it's shit around here. I wouldn't. Would you? You wouldn't say that, would you, Stoy?
Nah. I mean, just maybe muddy.
Dirty sticks.
Just
Yeah.
a few dirty sticks and some,
yeah.
thick green algae.
Yeah.
Not shit.
The stuff you don't want to walk on when you go on a beach and just feels weird on your feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so hang on a second, because apparently it says your mic is doubled up.
Mine?
Andre. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks to X Incognito out there on YouTube for letting us know about that.
My boy Incog. Okay.
Wait.
He's not really incognito if he's coming out like
yeah,
that.
no, exactly.
So he is actually part of my clan on Destiny. I've been playing with him and my boy Stoy for months now. I still don't know his name. He will not tell us his name. So I just call him Incog.
Well, I tell you what, Incog, welcome to the stream tonight. And before we get too far, I gotta say, because as always, back with me tonight is the ever faithful, that taint punching master of the squad, Mr. Stoyovich. What's up, dude?
I hate what I created because now it seems like everybody wants me to mention and talk about the taint, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Well, this is the only episode where you'll have that title. You'll have something else next time.
Oh no. I'm when I recorded on the EXP cast, I had to go through a lengthy 10-minute process of talking about the taint and all its anatomical features.
Why?
And,
Why?
Well, it's just because it's what the audience wants. It's what the people want.
Wait. Is there a feature of the taint?
Yes. There's a lot of nerve endings there.
It explains a lot. It explains a lot.
There's a lot of sensual nerve endings there. Yeah, you want me to go?
Hey, hold on. Hold on a second, because Mr. David Lasby's in the chat right now. He does bring up a very good point. Stoy, the master of fantastic editorials over at BossRush.net.
Listen, because Stephanie made a comment on that editorial that I wrote, and she's like, "I'm really disappointed you didn't mention anything about the taint," because that's where the obsession of the taint came from. Because I think I was on with you.
She was the one that started it. She was the one that started bringing it up.
It was like her, you, and me, where I started going off on a tangent about retro game collecting. And
yes,
they like to poke at that little nostalgic bit on your body, and I just happen to pick the taint.
Yes.
He's like these retro game collectors like to grab that little fleshy bit in between your butthole and your pee hole, and they like to squeeze and pinch and kind of, roll it in between their fingers, and they say, "Yeah, Mega Man, you like that? Yeah, $150. You'll pay it because you like it."
Wow.
All right, so we're gonna swing back around to Andre, man.
I'm sorry, Andre, that you had to just be subjected to that, but that's
just. I mean, I'm here for it.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Dude, welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Like I said, it's a pleasure to be here. Me and LeRon met previously on the Boss Rush, where him, Corey, and Stephanie were all chit-chatting. I was a guest there. I just kind of came in with the fact that I can just talk about games and talk about stuff with like-minded people, and I just kind of vibed. And then the next podcast, I got asked to be a co-host for here, and I was like, let's roll with it. So again, honor and pleasure to be here. I'm excited to see how this is, where it goes, to bring some fresh ideas to the table and just kind of roll with punches.
All right, and real quick, just give everybody a brief rundown of your gaming pedigree.
My gaming pedigree started with the N64, worked my way up from there, Game Boy, 3DS, I was a diehard PlayStation guy for a long time, and then I got a Xbox, and I got my whole world flipped on FPS games. I still think that FPS games are better on the Xbox. Story games are better on the PlayStation. That's just me. Constant battle between Xbox and PlayStation. Then we got PlayStation 2, and then Xbox 360, and then PlayStation 3, and then constant upgrading systems and systems and systems. Until eventually I just made my own PC for gaming, and I kind of just like I didn't toss consoles out the window. I still have a Switch, but when it came to Xbox and PlayStation, I just said PC. I mean PC, I can still play Xbox games, so I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like,
everything's starting to make sense.
Wait, what's starting to make sense? What's starting to make sense?
You know, it's just, I mean, nothing against Andre at all. But once he said, like, I built my own PC and that's where I game most of the time. Andre, for background, we always make fun of LeRon because he likes to pull the PC Master Race card.
Oh yeah, he mentioned
on everybody.
That. He mentioned that.
PC guys making the incursion.
Yeah, because like he was the guy that was like, oh, you know, like I really want to play Monster Hunter Rise with my friends, but everybody plays on the Switch and I play on my PC, and I don't, you know, he gets all mad about it.
I mean, I will admit there are days where I'm sitting there and I'm like, shit, man, I'd love to just throw on like Horizon or something, and I'm like, damn. And then I just turn on my PC and I'm like, this is fun. This is fun. Oh, this is fun. I accept my fate.
Stoy, don't be that way, man. Don't be that way.
No, I'm just stating the fact. Like, I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But
so Andre, real quick, what's currently your top favorite game right now?
God, that is okay. So the game I main, I guess, is Destiny 2, but it's not my favorite. My favorite game I'm playing right now. Honestly, no, is it that? No. Toss up between Super Smash. What's the newest one? Is it Brawl?
Yeah, Brawl.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The latest Super Smash Brawl. I mean, that game I could just pick up and just play for hours. So it's a toss up between that and Cyberpunk. I actually started playing Cyberpunk.
Man, where were you at when I was white hatting for that game? Oh my god!
So I know that game has come a long way, and I was one of those people that was like, this game's gonna be like groundbreaking, and then it just hardcore shat the bed. Like we all,
yeah,
the whole world
we all were there.
That,
we all were there.
Everyone, yeah. So, I think it was like a month or two ago, and I was on the Steam store. I saw it on sale for $40, and I was like, oof. I was like, all right. I took a step back, and I'm like, well, I know the game has come a long way. It's had some improvements. They have came out and say that, like, look, we fixed our game. Please play it. And I was like, it's $40. I'm like, okay, I'll try it. But I don't have high hopes. So I bought it, started playing it, and it actually turned out that it's a lot better now, and I'm quite enjoying it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually I haven't gotten back to it recently, but yeah, once they did the PS5 Xbox Series X upgrade, I jumped back into it, and it's playing great.
Yeah, it's graphically, I mean, wow! Like just the whole Night City vibe, the techno, the colors, the everything about the game visually is so good. Combat wise is great. I mean, the customization from your character from up to down, great story. 3 stories in the main game. I mean, if you haven't played it and you're curious about it, I love it. Stoy does. I mean,
yep.
You have 2 people here who were
afraid. I love it too.
Oh, sorry. 3.
Like shit. Like I was trudging through because like I got caught in the bullshit that was the GPU recession. So yeah. I got caught. I was able to upgrade everything on my computer except for my graphics card. So here I am rocking a 1080 Ti. Yeah, I was rocking a 1080 Ti. I
have a 1070. So.
Oh, you have a 1070 right now,
dude. Trying to find one down in, okay, so I live in Canada. Trying to find a graphics card right now. I'd love to give up my soul, but I can't. And I'd love to give up like my arm, but again, I can't for a graphics card. I have seen graphics cards that sell that usually would sell for like 600 sell for like $2,000. Like it
Bro.
is so bonkers.
Well, the graphics card, the GPU market has kind of like bottomed out now. Like thank God.
Yeah.
But good news is
Crypto's
like
dying. That's why.
yeah.
Yeah,
Good
that
good
too.
news is though, knowing me now, someone who actually I build computers. Like that's my job. And
Okay,
and
yeah.
so like if you're looking for a GPU, like I'm not gonna charge you your left testicle for it.
I would appreciate that because I'd like to have it if need be. I'll part with it, but I mean,
All right. So I, what? I think the prelims have gotten out of the way, unless there's something else you want to add to like this enriching bio of yourself.
oh yeah. So other than games, pop culture. I'm a huge Star Wars guy.
Yes, he is.
This whole arm is a Star Wars sleeve. I have Yoda on my calf. I've met Stan Lee. I've met Carrie Fisher. I love pop culture, Marvel, Star Wars, DC. Just all around pop culture guy. It's who I am. It's made me who I am. And games. Basically, all you gotta know about me is pizza, the gym, games, Star Wars. That's it.
All these tatted dudes on the show now. I guess I gotta go start getting inked up.
Yeah, bro. I just got a new one just a couple weeks ago.
I thought you had some fresh ink on you, dude.
Yep.
I thought so.
That's why I don't know if you saw me. I was in the camera just like
He's like
this.
He's
you
like,
know.
yeah.
Bro, let's just just sit back, relax, and just talk about video games. That's it.
Video games and the gym.
Yeah, bro. I talk about the gym all day.
So he's like, yeah. So like my arm hurts. I don't know why. But yeah, games are fun.
Really sore right here.
flexing that forearm like like the one time a dude's flexing his forearm, and it's now. Oh boy. All right. Well, I can't say it enough, Andre. Welcome to the show. Like you're gonna love it here. We're not a bunch of assholes. At least not until like somebody starts talking how like Mega Man 4 is better than Mega Man 2 and 3, and then we might have problems.
You guys just had to be there for the conversation. Before this, it was like there was like chairs being thrown. There was like spit. It was terrible. It was like two parents arguing, and I was like,
"Mommy and Daddy are fighting again."
Yeah. Walk in our room. Don't.
All right, fellas. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and do how we always start this show off, and let's talk about what we've been playing this past week. You know what, Andre? It's your first time here, so we're gonna let you go first. So
Perfect.
tell me, brother, what have you been playing this past week?
So I recently downloaded Final Fantasy IX for my Switch. I played it previously, got to a certain part, and kind of just I think something else came out, so I said I'll put it down and pick it back up later, and that was a huge lie because everyone says that and never gets back to it. But then I recently picked up my Switch because Destiny has just been I've been burnt out from my PC gaming wise, and I've just been like I want to detach a bit and just play more of my Switch. So I went to my downloaded games, saw that, re-downloaded that, and then hop back into that, and it's been really refreshing to be able to like just even lay in my bed and just kind of just like throw on chill music and just play my Switch and not have to be like right here or even downstairs, or even like I'll show up to work like half an hour early and bring my Switch and play in my car until like work starts, and it's so nice to be able to just detach from this area especially and play somewhere else. So I've been really enjoying that. If it's not that, it's Super Smash Bros. So I've just been enjoying mostly Final Fantasy, but if I'm just in the mood to kind of just like not think and just kind of just mash buttons, it's Super Smash Bros.
So who's your favorite character to main in Smash Brothers right now?
Link. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It'd probably go Link, then Donkey Kong, and then Zelda.
All right. Cool.
Apparently, I learned that there is an actual tier list in Smash.
Really?
There definitely is a tier list. Yeah,
I had no idea that. I just love Legend of Zelda. I have a Triforce tattooed on my finger, so
Yo.
I'm like a little biased. That's why I like main Link. I'm a bit biased, but I know there's like Sora and Cloud and Sephiroth. I know there's like a whole bunch of like cool people, but
I believe Kazuya, Sephiroth, and I think Sora are in like the top 3 right now as far as the tier list goes.
is it Kazuma? Is it?
No, Kazuya, the guy from Tekken.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
So so you got like S tier characters that are like it's like Pikachu, Joker, and
Wait,
Lucina.
Joker?
Pikachu?
Yeah,
Pikachu?
Joker's an S tier character. Pikachu has always been an S tier character. And so Josh on our podcast, he runs fighting game tournaments, and there's like 30, 40 people show up for Smash. It's fucking crazy.
Wow.
A lot of people are using Pikachu. A lot of people are using Pikachu.
I mean, like, he's fast. He's fast as heck. So
yeah. Let's see. Young Link is A tier.
Young Link, I actually tried him today. He's like Link but faster, and I'm like, okay, but he's not as powerful. So
yeah, but like your Link is B tier.
Well, in my world, he's like Bay.
So
I can't fault that.
Unfortunately, F in the chat for anybody that plays as Dr. Mario, Ganondorf, or Little Mac.
Wait, Lil Mac is
that's F tier.
Hold on, Lil Mac is not a contender. Lil Mac is not a contender.
Yeah, not a contender.
I am shocked. I am shocked.
Really? I assumed that Little Mac was at least like B or A. Actually,
damn.
Maybe he doesn't have the reach. I mean, I can understand Dr. Mario because what the fuck, but
Ganondorf I can see because they did my boy dirty. I mean, like, he's so strong but like slow as like paint. So
well, yeah, because you got D tier, you got Donkey Kong and King Rule that are like D tier.
Mm-hmm.
Where was Bowser? Bowser's I thought was pretty far down. Yeah, Bowser is C tier.
I'm actually a bit like shocked that there's a tier list for Super Smash. I had no idea.
Well, I didn't know that either because, like I said, I go to these tournaments and I compete in the Street Fighter tournaments usually.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all these people are talking about like, oh my God, you're signing up to play as Bowser? Like, what the hell's the matter with you? And I'm like, why is that a problem? Like, aren't all fighters equal?
Because the tier list snobs are out there.
Yeah. Like all of a sudden, someone's making fun of the other guy because he just chose Ganondorf.
Hey, like I has a Bowser.
All right. Were there any other games you're hitting off, or is just Final Fantasy 9 and Smash Brothers?
Just Final Fantasy and Super Smash Bros.
Okay. All right, Stoy, you are up.
Well, if I'd have known F1 2022 came out today, I would have picked it up. But I think I want to hold off for the physical copy, which comes out at the end of the week.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up.
Is that what the split is? Is digital versus physical?
Yeah, I think so.
Because this is not the first time this has happened. I've been noticing there's this trend where it'll release at the beginning of the week one place. Like I think NBA 2K22 started it, where actually no, it wasn't just NBA though. Like MLB The Show also had like an early digital and then a physical like the end of the week.
Well, I don't like it. Sometimes it takes months. Like actually, Sifu just came out with a steelbook physical edition just like a month ago.
Well, yeah, I think there was a little bit of controversy behind Sifu. Like, didn't they have to like remove something and it was faster to patch out the? No, it wasn't Sifu. I'm sorry. What was that game? It was the Claire is dead or something. You played it, didn't you? Stoy
I played Catherine. Yeah.
Some chick. No, some chick is dead. What was the name of the game?
Martha is dead.
Martha is dead. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
They had to make a last minute edit, and so like it delayed like the print copies by like a week or two. And the digital copy got patched out. Which is like
that was the PlayStation version because PlayStation decided last minute to just edit out.
Yeah. It was something about the violence in the game. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, God forbid violence in a game. God forbid.
Yeah, no kidding. PlayStation out of everybody.
It's funny. It's funny. Over in Japan, like over in Japan, the stuff that we would think would be taboo is not taboo, and the stuff that should not be taboo is taboo over in Japan as far as gaming goes. So it's wild.
Yeah, wild.
It's
crazy out here.
It's probably why Xbox doesn't have that big of a presence out there yet.
That's fair.
Too American. So I ended up picking up Phobia Saint Dinfna
Yes.
Hotel, and I hate saying that because it sounds like I should be saying Saint Difna, but they had to add an N in there, and I it's like I don't know if that's real or not, or I don't know. Anyway, so like we were talking about it over the weekend, and it looked like a kind of like a Resident Evil 7 clone. First person,
Ooh.
first person, you're carrying a handgun, and it's like, you're picking up items in the area that you're using these items to. It's like old school Resident Evil, basically. You
Okay.
have like a menu system where you can only hold so many items, and you have to find keys. You got to solve puzzles. In order to move up a floor, you have to solve these tricks and whatever. So,
Mhm.
it has that vibe. There's not as many enemies in this. It took me, I think, like an hour and a half to encounter my first enemy.
Wow.
But
That's
so like
slow.
you check into this hotel. You're this journalist. You check into this hotel, and you're here to find out like what's going on in this town that you're staying in. And
Mhm.
something happens. You wake up in your hotel, and like everything's a mess. The hotel is destroyed. There's fires everywhere. There's monsters everywhere, apparently. And you have this camera.
Every horror game ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for this one. Wait for this one. You get a camera
Mm.
that when you hold it up to your eyes, you see night vision, right? What does that remind you of?
Outrider. Oh, sorry. Outlast.
Outlast, yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
Outlast.
Yep. So, but the interesting part of it is that you can actually see in the past almost. So, if you're in a room and like there's no way out of this room, you hold the camera up and you look from a different lens, you can actually see maybe there's a hole in the wall that you can go through so long as you keep looking at the camera. And all of a sudden you put the camera down and that hole's not there anymore. So that's kind of a cool little mechanic.
That's cool. I like
Yeah,
that.
that is
Yeah.
cool. That is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And it took me a little bit, but like if you see like a bloody handprint on the wall, that's like your kind of indication that like, okay, there's something in this room. But yeah,
That
it's
shit.
actually kind of a cool little
That shit's
mechanic.
about to go down. Basically.
Yeah. Well, like you hold the camera up and there's something in the room where there's, there could be an item that you could pick up. There could be like maybe like a hint or a clue for a puzzle,
Oh,
or yeah,
okay.
there's like a hole in the wall, so to speak, that you could walk right through.
So, like,
Mhm.
the handprint is the indication that in the surrounding space you need to look.
Yes,
I get
you
it.
need to look. Yep,
I get
yep.
it. Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, so because I think I did that in accident. And I was like, "There's a handprint on that wall. What's that mean?" And I pulled the camera up and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." But yeah, it's the gun plays fine. The only enemies I really encountered were these like kind of crawly spiders that whatever, and then you got
Ugh.
these like zombies with these like exposed chests that and a beating heart.
And
So you have to shoot him in the heart, so to
yeah,
speak, to kill
yeah.
him. Yeah, I mean, it's not that impressive, but the character designs aren't necessarily impressive, but the surrounding area, like the setting, is actually
Mm.
pretty good. Like it's pretty high quality.
Mhm.
I've never heard of this developer before, so I don't know what their pedigree is, but so far it's pretty good.
I don't have their info in front of me, or I'd blurt it out right now.
Yeah, I mean, I may look it up too, but I mean, so far it's actually pretty. I mean, I'm pretty surprised with it. Like, there's a really good mystery. I think I was playing it right before I jumped on, and it all of a sudden segued to a completely different character. So there seems to be like a huge
Did Stoy
growing
freeze?
mystery. No, am I still here?
You definitely froze just now.
Oh, okay.
It caught you. It caught you like all squinty faced.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like I'm still
Or so you
frozen in
might want
the.
to. So you might want to repeat that. What you just
Okay.
said.
Um, I was gonna say so far it's actually pretty. It's pretty solid. It has ray tracing, which is surprising
Mm.
for a small developer. But yeah, they yeah, they're a developer based out of Brazil. That's what it was. Because like
Okay.
all the writing on the wall is in Portuguese.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like if that's supposed to give me a hint, I can't read it because it's in Portuguese.
You're like, damn it, Google Translate.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So
yeah. We mentioned the wrong Smash Brothers game, by the way. It's Ultimate. That's the current one right now.
Ultimate. God, good
Yeah,
lord. I mean, Brawl was good too, but Ultimate. I'm playing Ultimate.
But
All right.
yeah. Otherwise, I've been playing more Tales of Arise, just like normal.
Tales of Arise. I need to get back into that, but I'm so in the middle of playing a whole bunch of other games, which I'll mention, in a moment. I don't want to cut you off or steal your thunder.
Oh no, yeah, no, that's I finally reached kind of a pretty big pivotal point in the story, where the story all of a sudden gets to be kind of like, holy shit,
Mm-hmm.
a big twist. And then yeah, just I mean, hopefully I'll get it done in a few days. I don't know. I hope. I still have a lot of games in my backlog, and fall is fast approaching.
I have a million games in my backlog. It's ugh.
Yeah.
Almost overwhelming.
Yeah. Like like I'd need like 7 lifetimes to finish all my games, and that's 7 lifetimes to finish the backlog. That doesn't include anything that gets added once those 7 lifetimes start.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, Stoy?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, it's kind of the same old for me.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, Monster Hunter Rise, of course. Like Sunbreak comes out in less than 2 days now. I am trying my best. Like it seems like the hump to get to like HR 300. Like I'm just trying to get there. And it seems like it is the slowest hump right now. Like for some strange reason, getting into like the high 200s was nothing, and now I'm at now I'm stuck at like 291, and it's like, come on, guys! I just want. I'm sitting here playing. I'm playing top tier missions to maximize as much of my hunter rank. Like get the points. Out of it, and it's like, Jesus Christ, give me a break. I just want to get this done because I want to be there when the expansion comes out. So the expansion comes out, I jump in there, everybody's like, "Oh, look at this guy!" And then like all of a sudden, I run up to a quest with someone's HR 999.
So do you have to be a particular rank to play Sunbreak or?
No. As a matter of fact, well, actually, you have to be hunter rank 7.
Okay.
You have to be hunter rank 7, and you have to beat what technically counts for the end game boss for the base game, which is nothing if you're hunter rank 7. Honestly, yeah.
I just think to Stoy to answer your question, LeRon, correct me if I'm wrong. I just think this is more of a flex.
What?
you being
HR?
Yeah, you being. Is it just more of like a, hey, look at me, I'm fucking ranked 300? Is it that?
He does this every week.
It's a little. It might be a little bit of a flex because I've been playing Monster Hunter
291, and I don't know what to do.
Because I was playing Monster Hunter Rise when it first came out on Switch, and then when it came to PC, I basically stopped playing the Switch version because a lot of people may know that's been listening. Like Capcom decided that they were not going to do cross save. So you basically anyone that played on PC had to start over, which I know there's a lot of people out there like pointing and laughing like, well, you're stupid. Why'd you start over? Like, because I'm good at this shit and I can do this, So I turned on my Switch last night just to see where I was at in Rise. And I was hunter rank 79. So I was like, oh man, I've already did the damn thing, and stuff like
He's
that.
Like 79.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but the one thing I did neglect because like when the PC version came out, I just jumped right into. Okay, so there's two sides of Monster Hunter, of every Monster Hunter game. You've got offline, which is technically called village quests, and you've got the guild quests, which are the online quests where you can play multiplayer. I just, when the PC version came out, it's funny because like the console version comes out, and all I did was play the village quest until I got to a certain point, and then I just ran straight into online to the guild stuff. The PC version comes out, I jumped right into the guild. Didn't even look back. So like I have all these required missions there in my village quest that I've never done. It was like, damn, like I'm gonna walk into Sunbreak and have not completed all these missions, but those missions don't matter.
LeRon's like, look, I'll be right back. I gotta go do some things that I neglected for a long time.
I mean, at my level, at my level of my weaponry and stuff like that, I'm just gonna hit everything in the head once and it's dead, and I'll move on. At least for village, because like, it's not gonna be the same when Sunbreak comes out and they introduce like the G rank, and it's like, oh god, everything's killing me now. What, I used to be such a beast. Why does it hurt so much?
I used to be the hunter, now I'm the hunted.
Or essentially, yeah. But yeah, and I do love that because the Nintendo Direct happened today, and I kind of was expecting, but also not really hoping for any new Monster Hunter content. And the direct opened up with Monster Hunter. It was like a whole 3-minute trailer of
And
more
you're
stuff.
like, oh, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so some buddies of mine, they were like, hey, so and so's finally back in the game. I was like, dude, like the last trailer showed the juvenile version of this monster in the game. You knew the grown up version was coming. This wasn't even a big surprise for me.
What was the large monster that they just announced that they brought it back from an old?
That was Gore Magala.
Gormagala, that was
it,
yeah.
And remember the
Twitter. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know half the Twitter people that I follow were Monster Hunter fans until all of a sudden I started seeing that guy pop through, like on my feed. I'm like, who's this Gorgonzola guy?
Gorgonzola.
Gormagala,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, remember also I told you that I was like that's like the Gormagala that you looked up. That's not even his final form. Well, Shagaru,
not even his final form, guys.
Yeah, Shagaru Magala is what was revealed today, and so it's like, and I was like, I could have told y'all that guy was coming. Like this is not news.
The thing looks terrifying.
Andre, this is what I was talking about. These conversations is what I was talking about.
What conversations?
No, I could have told you guys that Gormagala wasn't.
Oh my god, dude, you are killing me right now. Jesus.
When you're a hunter ranked 27,000 like I am, you gotta farm for vegetables, and therefore you gotta like beef up your stats, and then you gotta attack them from behind, and you gotta create flanking maneuvers.
Man, can I live, please? Can I live?
Yeah, you're gonna be subject
like,
to
actually, I'm ranked 291. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Not 27.
You put some respect on it. God damn it.
You know why? You know why?
Why do you make fun of me?
If I ever start the game,
jealous.
If I ever start the game, I will definitely call you and be like, "Yo, man, can you just carry me through everything?"
That's what Corey's planning on doing.
I am jealous because I just cannot get into Monster Hunter, and I am jealous when everybody thoroughly enjoys themselves playing it. And I'm like, why can't I have
I won't lie.
Why can't I have that?
I did play it for a bit until I met a monster I couldn't beat, and then said screw it.
Did it look like a giant? Did it look like a giant chicken?
No, what was it?
Because
I think it was a giant T-Rex looking monster.
What was what?
A giant T-Rex looking monster.
Oh, so you play current Monster Hunter?
Yeah. So I played.
It was a purple and pink one, or was it a green or a giant green one?
It was a purple.
Here we go again.
Pink one.
Shut up, Stoy. Okay, fine.
Was it purple and pink with green feathers?
Andre, you were talking about Anjanath, and I'm going to go ahead and move on to the other game because I played some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles over the weekend.
Hell yeah!
That game is hard as fuck, but it's fun.
Is it really?
It's
hard. Hard. I mean, like
it's a tough beat 'em up, and it's tough beat 'em up. I will say that. The challenges there. I'm not really bitching about what.
Like you said, it's like, are you playing it with other people? Like, is
yes.
that where you getting the difficulty? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
If you play it single player, it's like you can walk through it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got to at least play with at least another companion. It doesn't feel the same when you're playing solo. If that makes
you
know what?
I totally agree with you 100%.
We're gonna talk about that when we talk about nostalgia in gaming tonight. But it doesn't really feel games like that doesn't feel like. Can you imagine playing the old X-Men arcade game by yourself?
No.
Yeah.
When that game literally had 5 other joysticks.
But that was the thing. Games in the old days, it was easier the more people you played with.
That's true.
Now it's harder.
They never scaled the difficulty.
Yeah.
It was always just one difficulty, and that was it.
Oh, I agree.
Nowadays, it's like the reverse. The more people you get, the harder it is.
Yeah.
So.
Which is no fun. No, I'm just kidding. It's a lot more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
For real. Yeah. And then beyond that, like Stoy, you'll be happy with me. I just got off of Pharos in Mass Effect 1.
You're almost there.
I'm almost there. Now I got to get to Ilos. Now I got to get to Ilos. Actually, no, I'm sorry, Vermeer. Vermeer's next.
Yeah, you got to get to Vermeer first.
Vermeer's next. But you know what? Rex is going to live. I'll just say that. Rex is going to live.
I can't kill him, man.
But wait. I never saw it. Who offs him if
It's either you do it yourself or Ashley does from a
Or
distance.
Ashley. Okay.
Yeah. Because Ashley's that racist bitch that just doesn't like any alien.
Which is
So
funny. Which
she
is funny
was,
because
like, happy.
Ashley would do us a solid, and then I'd make sure she died in that same mission.
Yeah. You would do that.
You know what? I cannot wait for us to do standard definition for Mass Effect 3 because can we just talk about her? Did she get plastic surgery?
Yeah, it really was. Like there was like a huge.
That was not the same chick. I'm sorry. They should. They could have introduced her as a brand new character.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's everything I've been playing. How about it? If you guys want to let us know what you've been playing this past week, hit us up at PS_Crossroads at the on the Twitter. Yeah, that thing. Yeah,
on the Twitter.
On the Twitter. Yeah,
on the tweet, on the internet classroom where you try and fit in, and then if you say something, someone laughs at you.
Yeah, that or you'll get canceled super fast.
Hey guys, canceled.
All right.
Hey guys, I have an opinion. Cancel.
Yeah.
Pretty
Nobody
much.
cares about your opinion, Johnny. Go sit down.
Yeah, there you have it.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next segment, which is the notable games coming to PlayStation, PC, and Xbox this week. That being the week of the 27th of June to July the 3rd. Hey, it's the end of the month. It's the end of the month. I mean, and I gotta say, June was a pretty good month.
Side tangent. Can we just talk about how fast this year's going?
I know.
It's already like July. Like, shit.
I know. What the hell? You know, it's like we're more than halfway. Hold on, my watch tells me how many days. We're 179 days into the year now.
Yeah, like that's just it's just when I was reading this, I'm like, holy fuck, like July 1st, I was like, man, like I blinked and like my birthday passed, my wife's birthday, my son's birthday, like frick, like
yeah,
Jesus.
July 1 is Friday. And you know what? But Stoy, hey, we got another 3-day weekend coming up.
Yeah, we do.
We do too. We do too.
Wait. So you guys celebrate the 4th of July?
No, we have Canada Day.
Canada Day, let's say the 4th of July. I didn't mean like Independence Day, but you know, like, is it actually the 4th or is it like a different day?
Sorry, so we have July 1st off, and that's Canada Day for us.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you guys have off is it the Monday?
It's Monday.
Yeah.
See, I never have off the Monday.
You know, I don't know about that because like I've learned, and maybe it's just me, but I've learned that, you know, like Monday even though in theory, having Monday off from work seems like the best thing to do. But man, like the shit that you deal with, especially in my job, like I'm an IT guy, so the shit you deal with coming back on Tuesday is.
I mean, I can see that because it makes Sundays a lot more enjoyable because you really don't enjoy Sundays. You know?
Right. You wake up, you get instantly depressed because it's Sunday, and you know you have to work tomorrow, and then you just basically do laundry, do the dishes, go grocery shopping.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you could still do all that, and then like at the end of the day, you could be like, "Hey, I don't gotta go to bed early. I don't gotta like worry about work tomorrow, so I can actually enjoy my evening."
Yeah, right.
For real, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but. Say what you will, like June turned out to be quite a fun month as far as releases and nostalgia goes. You know, that's the theme for tonight's episode. If you guys out there listening or watching us right now didn't get it, nostalgia is going to be the theme for the night. So just buckle up. But I tell you what, man, we've got a couple of fan favorite games coming back. You know, like we've got like. If you like JRPGs, we got that. If you like fighting and racing games, we got that. You know, Stoy's already talked about one of the games on this that's on this list that's coming up. So let's just go ahead and crack into this right now.
A notable mention. I learned this maybe freaking 2 days ago. Chrono Cross is coming back to the Switch.
Isn't it already? Wait,
bro,
it's already on.
Oh yeah,
is it,
bro? It's already on.
Yeah. What the hell? I thought,
and it doesn't play good. Actually, I haven't played it in a while.
Yeah, Stoy is traumatized. Stoy is traumatized by what
that frame rate. That frame rate is atrocious. Like it got to a point where like I couldn't look past it anymore. It got to a point where like the original PlayStation version runs better.
That's okay. You know what? I
Mhm.
redact. I mean, like, it's cool because that's a game that since the topic is nostalgia, that's a game for me. I used to play the crap out of on PlayStation 1.
I could never get into it.
Dude, I don't know what about it. It was just, it sucked me in, and I was just like, "This is so fun." And I
Go ahead.
saw it on the Nintendo store, and I almost shit bricks. I'm like, "Holy smokes!" I haven't seen this game since I was maybe, I don't know, 6, 5. I was like, "Wow, like it's crazy." But now that I heard that Stoy says it's bad, I'm like a bit upset because I was like,
Well,
I'm sorry. I mean, I really feel like that's something that they could fix with an update. So I don't know if they fixed it.
yeah, like
An
what?
update
Yeah,
or not.
what's the deal? Like, it doesn't. It's not this hard. I mean, like even isn't there like a company out there where it's like one person is the developer and the publisher, and like he patched this game fast as shit, like after it released. Uh yeah, but I did promise Stoy that I would go back and play it because like I'm a Chrono Trigger fan, so when Chrono Cross came out, like I was all hyped for it and everything, and didn't play like Chrono Trigger, and I was like, I'm kind of upset at this game, so I never looked back at it, but Stoy, you've been working on me, so like I modified that Vita, so yeah,
Okay.
like I'm adding it to the library real soon here. All right. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the games that are coming out this week. First, all right, so we've got the 20th of June. We have, which is today, by the way, we have Disgaea 6 Complete coming out to PS4, PS5, and the PC, as well as 2 racing games. That first one being MX vs. ATV Legends for PS5, for PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. You know what? From now on, I'm just going to do it like this. If it's Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One, I'm just gonna say the Xbox family.
The Xbox family, yeah.
And if it's coming out for PS5 and PS4, I'm just gonna say PlayStation. I'm sick of saying all these syllables. I sound so stupid, don't I?
Too many gosh darn syllables.
Luigi.
But going on, we've got F1 22 for PS5 and the Xbox family, and also on PC. And then we've got the fighting game DNF Duel for PS5, PS4, and PC. We also have the adventure title Escape Academy coming across on all platforms, as well as Phobia St. Difna Hotel coming out on all platforms.
I might have to look into that.
Yeah, like while Story was talking about it, I looked at the trailer for it, and I think I'm going to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, we have one more racing title that came out today on the 28th. That is Tour de France 2022 for PlayStation, Xbox family, and PC. All right, so tomorrow's kind of an interesting day. I wouldn't say it's the interesting day, but it's an interesting day. Tomorrow, 20th of June, we have Lumberjack Simulator for Xbox One and PC, as well as
Let's go.
Nothing excites me more than being a lumberjack.
Stoy's gonna go to the store, buy a copy of Lumberjack Simulator, and then he's gonna go home and rip all the sleeves off his flannel shirts.
Let's go. I just bought a flannel shirt.
Let's go. W's in the chat for Lumberjack sleeveless shirt.
Yep. Get in the chat. Tell me if next time I'm on the show you want me to wear a sleeveless Lumberjack shirt.
There you go. Hit us up at PS_Crossroads. And Stoy's not beneath doing it either. I mean, Stoy's not above doing it. There we go.
I'll do it.
Also, we have the indie title, The Legend of Bumbo, coming to PlayStation 5, PC, and also Xbox Series X and S. By the way, I haven't really looked up much about this game. I did look at the logo. Legend of Bumbo, it has the poop emoji at the end of it. I don't know. I saw that and I was like, I won't go any further. And also coming out on the 29th of June, we have the retro platformer Hillbilly Doomsday for the Xbox family and PC. I also did not look that one up either. You know what I need to start doing? I need to start looking these games up. Might be some hilarity,
I mean, that name alone says a lot. So,
all right. So on the 30th of June, the only game you have to worry about is Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak for PC. Moving on. No, I'm kidding.
Moving on.
So the only game you need to worry about is
I'm kidding because like there's also that one game called Cuphead and the Delicious Last Course coming for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. We've also got Outriders World Slayer for PlayStation, PC, and the Xbox family. We also have the Galactic Junkers for PS5, PC, and Xbox. Oh, can't forget about Rabbids Party of Legends, right? For PS4, for PS4, Xbox One, and Stadia.
Don't
Yeah,
forget the Stadia still exists, everyone.
Interesting.
that's something we haven't talked about in this show in a
The
while. The
Stadia still
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah, you know, we kind of inherited Stadia because like we talk about PC stuff on here. Yeah. So next we'll be talking about what the what is it, the Luna, the Amazon one?
Amazon
that's a
has
thing.
one now. Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Amazon
Amazon
is
has their own cloud streaming platform. Yeah.
What does it play? Like it just shows when you're
Just Google,
delivery's gonna-
just go on YouTube, type Nick Cannon, Amazon Luna.
Nick Cannon, Amazon Luna?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish the Noble Games segment, and then I'm gonna swing back to like Nick Cannon for a second.
Oh no, we don't have to. We don't.
All
have to.
right. All right. And the last game coming out on June 30th is Hourglass for PC and the Xbox family. Then on July the 1st, that's the day Stoy's waiting for because the physical copy of F122 comes out, but it only says it's for PS4. So, I mean, is the game getting dual entitlements for PS5?
Yeah.
Or are they? Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, there's a specific PS5 copy.
Oh, there is. That's
Yeah.
funny because like I only saw a listing for PS4, and that's also why it was on a different day than the PS5 version.
I don't know where you're getting your news, your releases from.
Metacritic.
Oh,
Metacritic.
okay. See, I go to releases.com and I'm looking at it right now. It says, yeah, July 1st, PC, PS4, PS5.
Hey,
Xbox
Andre
One,
Wilson has subscribed to me on YouTube. I like it.
Ew.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, so yeah, Story, send me that link because I'll use that link from now on because I got the Metacritic because Metacritic like usually they get it right. Usually.
Okay.
All right. Finishing out July the 1st, we have Instant Sports All-Stars for PlayStation 5 and Almost My Floor for PC and Xbox family. Once again, I haven't really looked at these games, so I don't know a lot about it. But like I said, June turned out to be quite the fun month of releases. And there you have it. This guy is making a triumphant return to consoles. And I say consoles like it went to PC or no. And have fun. Guys, which of this week's releases are you anywhere like jazzed? Well, Stoy said F1.
F1 for sure.
Even though you already got Hotel Saint Dymphna.
But I still
wait,
got room
Phobia.
for. I still got room for one more. I got room for one more.
Oh, what's the other one? Cuphead?
Jack.
F1.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Well,
so
that's why it's like I picked up Phobia today, and then I still got room for one more this week, and that's definitely going to be F1. You know, I had this thought in my head when we were talking about nostalgia and retro. You guys remember? I mean, it's not really retro, but MotorStorm for the PS3 when that came
Yes.
out.
Yep.
I've been longing for another game like that.
We're talking about PS3. Like we're talking about nostalgia. PS3 is vintage enough.
I think so.
I think at this point, yeah.
Yeah, I longed for a return to MotorStorm. So I was looking at MX versus ATV and I saw the trailer for it and I was like, you know, that's tickling that little part underneath me. You know, that's I'm getting a little tickle down there. Like maybe I'll pick up MX versus ATV Legends, even though it's a remaster, but still, we'll see.
Andre, was there anything on this list that had your attention?
I mean, when Stoy talked about that hotel game, I mean, who doesn't love a first-person horror game? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but I love to just get scared shitless, even though I don't want to. And that I'm a kind of guy where there's like horror, survival, and then horror meets puzzles meets survival. That's kind of where I live. Like I love like Resident Evil games.
I was about to say Resident Evil was your jam then, right?
And I have beaten every single Resident Evil game. Okay, not every single, but Resident Evil 1 to 7 I've beaten all of them. Love them. They have a special spot in my heart. I used to watch my dad play them. I mean, he's still here. Just this is not like a side story, but he's still here. But like when when I would watch him play them, I would be like, "Oh my god, this is so scary." So now when I play them, it kind of takes me back to when I would watch him. And Resident Evil 3 was personally the hardest one for me to play and beat because of Nemesis. And when I was younger, I'd watch him play. Nemesis would pop up. I'd scream, leave the room, come back, and be like, "Yeah, we got this." Leave again because he'd show up. So I remember the first time I was playing that, and he jumped on the screen and he did his whole Star Wars thing. I kind of paused it and I was like, "I got this. I got this. I got this." And then I unpaused it and immediately paused it.
You're a big boy, Andre. You're a big boy.
I got this.
Buddhist. I got this.
Oh, and then I unpaused it. He ran at me, paused it, and turned it off and said, "I don't got this." So, playing all those games was it was a lot of fun. Again, survival horror meets puzzles. I live in that kind of space. So, Stoy, when you talked about the first person, the camera, the Outlast vibe, the puzzles, I mean, like that for me. I was all right, I might have to.
When you said those 3 things, I was like, this'll fit right in with you.
Yeah. So, like you said, that thing, that the whole tickle thing. Yeah, that's kind of that's where that's where I'm kind of sitting on. So for me, it's got to be that one. Was it? Hold on.
And it's $30 actually, so it's not bad price wise.
Perfect. Phobia Saint
Dymphna Hotel.
Dymphna.
Yeah.
Dymphna? Oh no, sorry, there is no I. Wow.
No, there's no I in there.
Wow. First glance, I'm like, that says Dymphna. You guys are insane. No,
it's almost like it's trying to give you dyslexia.
Now I can see why that ends like if it's like a silent N or if it's just kind of there to screw with you, because I'm like Dymphna or like Dynfa.
Yeah, so I'd have to say on this list, it's probably going to be Cuphead in the Delicious Last Course, because like I love like subjecting myself to like horrible tortures and just wanting to like punch babies and kick puppies. I like it. That is if I can't put Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak down. Which is not even on this list, but I had to say because it's coming to PC. It's technically a Switch title. It's coming to PC, so there you go. All right. Just shout out to us over at PS_Score Crossroads on Twitter. Which of these releases are you most excited about purchasing, or is there something that's on the horizon that you're thinking about? I mean, hell, there was a Nintendo Direct today.
There was.
Have fun.
Go nuts.
Yeah. All right. So we now we can get started on the news for this week. So guys, did you know that in The Last of Us remake, the PS5 version, the DualSense is getting some really, really nice stuff?
I just was kind of glancing over that. The fact that it says here, the DualSense's haptic feedback support will features for every weapon in the game, along with environmental effects such as the sensation of falling rain.
Hell yeah.
That interests me because that is really cool because I've played the game multiple times. The rain levels are now going to feel a little different, and it's really cool to have the fact that you will almost feel raindrops. That's what I'm gathering that they're going to be doing, and that is a really cool thing, especially with such an environmentally driven game.
Oh yeah,
as The Last of Us.
I just went back to find out the correct pronunciation of it's Dymphna. And it's actually spelled differently. It's actually spelled Dymphna.
Okay.
She is the patron saint of mental illness and incest victims.
Oh, okay. So there's an actual meaning to it. Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to know? Do you want to know how she died?
Hit me.
She was beheaded. Do you know why she was beheaded?
Hit me.
Why?
Because she didn't want to have sex with her father.
God. Wait. Why does it sound like she lived in the United States of America?
How dare you not go through with this, beheader?
Exactly. How dare you not let me bang you to the beheading?
To the beheading.
Jesus Christ.
We're gonna try not to get political tonight. I have no mental
We're,
bandwidth right now.
we're talking. This is 7th century Ireland, so things were different back then. Things were much different back then. Clearly.
Yeah, when your daughter was worth a cow and some land. Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa. A sheep at best. A sheep at best. Right? No one is taking Bessie, all right? Her milk is really good.
You can have all the haggis you want.
You can have all the sheep in my farm. Don't touch my cow, okay? Her milk is pure, and I will drink it.
Yeah, Andre's gonna fit here just fine, Stoy.
Yep.
All right. So if you're one of the many out there who are wanting to jump back into the events of Naughty Dog's critically acclaimed The Last of Us Part 1 when it comes to PlayStation 5, this DualSense news is going to excite the shit out of you. On the PlayStation Direct website right now, where are some details about the remaster of Ellie and Joel's epic adventures, and it all regards the DualSense 5 controller. In The Last of Us Part 2, gamers will experience the full utilization of the haptic feedbacks and adaptive triggers that, like practically every PS5 game has come to like freaking relish, essentially. The features will be felt across both combat and environmental elements. As Andre said a moment ago, like we're just talking about like just the haptic feedback support alone is going to be insane. Features for every weapon. So like bow and arrow, for example, like you're using the triggers, like you're going to feel the tension coming back to you on the triggers. I wonder how the clicks are going to go for like the shotgun and the handguns and all that stuff.
I assume for the bow, it's going to be like you'll pull the trigger and then it's just going to snap back and you'll like hold it, and then when you let go, it lets go, and that is a really cool thing because again, it really I don't know the right term, but it really makes you feel like you're
immersive.
Thank you. I was like, what's that word? It really makes you feel immersive, like you're shooting a bow, right?
Yeah.
And like you just said, the shotgun, the handgun, all the guns in the game, how they're gonna shoot differently and all that jazz. It's just I played Part 1 numerous times. I love the Last of Us series. So to have this support and have this feature is really going to change the way the game is going to play. Also with the graphic increase and overall story.
Really, yeah. I'll just say it, like this damn thing right here, this controller right here, this is one of the boss ass controllers I've ever had. Like I'm not gonna say it's the best controller I've ever put my hands on, but I tell you what, as far as PlayStation controllers go, I think this is the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it feels the best. It's got the obviously the most functionality out of any controller that's come out at this point. I like it. I like it for racing games because I always like the way it feels when you brake, the way and even when your brakes lock up, like you can actually feel that in your trigger. That kind of gives me that extra anxiety where it's like coming into a turn too fast, your brakes lock up, you can feel it pulsating, and it's like, oh no. But yeah.
It lets you know that you just screwed up.
But even I think the most recent, I think it was the most recent Call of Duty game where they actually said every gun feels different.
Yeah, or how about when it jams and like your DualSense actually locks up?
Yep, it locks up, and it's like if you're out of ammunition, like you don't get any resistance at all. It's just you're just like kind of free clicking, and it's like, yeah,
like
it's cool. It's cool what they can do to it, and it's like, the limit is your own imagination with what they can do.
Yeah, and all the face buttons, like have the the face buttons. I'm trying to think. Did the face buttons also have haptic?
No, I think it's just standard rumble. But
standard.
Have anything crazy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think the last time I played Ratchet and Clank. I couldn't remember for sure. I know it does have.
Do you guys remember the days when PS3 was trying to hawk that 6-axis?
I gotta say, like for us into our second year of PlayStation 5, like the fact that they're still like pushing this controller because like I guarantee, because what by this time in the cycle of PS4, like 6-axis was like a what? Who is that?
Yeah, well, remember the PS3 came out and they didn't have Rumble because they were like, no one wants Rumble in their controllers,
Oh yeah,
and then they
that was a
reversed
lie.
course immediately,
Yeah.
and then they put Rumble in the controllers again,
Mm-hmm.
and then everybody, what was that? What was that game? Heavenly Sword, where like every time you launched an arrow, you had to actually like move your controller. And
Yeah.
aim
Oh
with
God.
it.
Yeah.
God, it was so terrible.
Yeah. Like controller gimmicks. I swear, just keep it simple. Sometimes. Well, with exception of the PlayStation 5 controller. No. All these other controllers keep it simple.
Because it actually makes sense. It's actually functional and it's actually like purposeful.
Yeah.
As opposed to just being a gimmick. Like it's not a gimmick.
Oh. Speaking of like, these controllers and their crazy functions and all that stuff. You play Alien Isolation on PS4. The speaker, the microphone on your game, like on your controller, will give you away to the xenomorph.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're in your room and you're just talking to yourself out loud, and the xenomorph is nearby. It hears that and it finds you.
Yeah.
Really?
If you turn on the microphone on the
if you turn on the microphone on the controller, yeah.
Oh, holy, that would just scare the shit out of me. Oh
yeah,
my God.
I played Isolation on PC, but going back to the DualSense features. So we just talked about the haptic feedback for that, but also with the actual the dynamic when am I crap, I lost it. How do I do this when I have a script sitting right in front of me? Okay, you know what?
Are you ready to experience the adventures of Ellie and Joel once more? I don't know. Is that where you're at?
No. But that was a good way of saying it's trying to wrap this segment up, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just for you guys who've been living under a rock, The Last of Us Part 1 is scheduled for release on September the 2nd of this year for PlayStation 5, with an upcoming PC release coming at a later date. The game has been completely overhauled for Sony's current flagship console, complete with improved visuals and enemy AI, and reported tweaks to the game's combat system. Apparently, they're putting innovations in to make combat play just like The Last of Us Part 2. So there's that. There are two editions available: the Firefly edition, which is $100, and then the standard edition, which is a full price $70, or is it $60 or $70? Huh. I'm not sure.
See, that's that price is what kind of takes me out of this.
That's true.
If we're talking like, I know I imagine they put a lot of development time into making this game.
I mean,
hell, and remastering it.
They basically ran a whole bunch of people out of Sony Bend. I'm sorry, I couldn't even say that with a straight face. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's like $70. I mean, $50 at the absolute most for me. 40 more likely for me. Like
hold tight, because I was speculating that price, but I can tell you that price right now. Hang on.
It's 70. It's 70.
It's 70. Yeah,
full price. Yeah, full price.
Yep, $70. Yeah. Well, I don't think we asked this question the last time we talked about the Last of Us remake coming out. Do you think it's worth it to pick it up? Given that the timing window for this game has only been 10 years and they remade this game. So, do you think it was worth it? Do you think it was worth it to pick it up? Because I will say this: I played it. I played it day one on PS3. So I played it when it was brand new PS3 game, right? The PS4 comes out and they offered The Last of Us Remastered. They initially put that game out for $40, and then it basically got down to $20. And then if you had PlayStation Plus, it was free. But I didn't really mess with it then because I'd already had my experience with The Last of Us. Like I did. It was one of the few games where I was like, I don't need to play this game again. Like I got my all-out enjoyment, from the first playthrough, which I did. With the exception of the fact that I never found all the freaking dog tags. But that doesn't matter. It's been 10 years since I played this game. So in my justification, I feel like it's worth spending $70 for an actual remake of this game. This is not a remaster, it's a remake. So I feel like it's worth it for me. But I can't say that for everybody because some people have just recently played The Last of Us, for the first time, Some people played it as a free title for PS5 or for PlayStation Plus on PS5.
I guess that begs the other question: like, did we actually need a remake, or could we have just gotten maybe a remaster, kind of like Uncharted 4 got?
That is definitely a good question.
I feel like.
Go ahead.
I personally think if you've never played it, wait for the remake,
Mhm.
and you will be thoroughly pleased. If you have played it and love the series, check out the remake, because I personally love the game. The show's coming out, which I'm super excited for. I have played too. So I am very deep in the Last of Us franchise. When I heard the remake was coming out, I mean, like you, LeRon, I played it day one, fell in love immediately. Played it, I think, several times. I played it twice on the PS3 and then twice on the PS4. Will I get the remake? I don't know. There are a lot more games coming out, especially the back end of the year. I don't know. Like I said, if you've never played it, wait. Just wait for the remake, because there'll be no point in buying it and then rebuying it. So wait. I know September's a long time. If you can't wait, of course you can buy it. But if you can wait, if you hold out, play something else, wait for the remake on the PS5, and I promise you it'll be way better, and it'll be worth the wait, because now that we just talked about the features that are coming to the PS5, it'll enhance the experience that maybe even LeRon had on day one. It might go beyond what we had, because you guys have that technology with the PS5 that we didn't when we played it. And
Agreed.
if you have played it and you love it, then just get it again and experience the PS5 version of it.
And that's who this game is going to appeal to. It's going to appeal to people that haven't played it, or maybe even haven't played it since the PS3 era.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love the series, but I think I'm just going to wait until there's a pretty significant sale, and then I'll get into it, because I am curious to see what it's all about. Like, it looks good, but
I've only seen a side by side of Tess, and the remake is like a completely different model.
yeah, completely different.
And it looks so clear. And I don't know
Yeah.
what I saw some hate on it, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell everyone's hating on, because it's literally like the mocap of the actress who's doing Tess. I'm like, I don't know all the hate, and it's dumb. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the fact that the remake looks beautiful. Looks really, really good.
It does.
And I've just seen Tess, and I'm like, if Tess alone looks really good, I can imagine what the game is going to look like.
Agreed. All right. This question is more for the audience than it is for you guys. But just hit us up on our Twitter and let us know what features you're most looking forward to trying out when the game launches. But like I said, it's coming out. It's coming out later this year, September the 2nd. If you missed it the first time, or you just for whatever reason was too busy to play the free copy of the remaster that was on PS4, PlayStation Plus, as well as PS5, PlayStation Plus, you have another chance you have a new chance and a new experience to play it. So I'd say don't pass it up. But what do I know? I'm just a guy that talks about video games.
True.
All right. Well, guys, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, which is going to be a little bit of some sad news here. If for everyone's listening out there or watching us right now, Bernie Stolar, that's a name that you may or may not know, depending on what era of gaming you grew up in and stuff like that. But Bernie Stolar passed away at the age of 75.
I'll be upfront. I don't know this. I don't know who he is.
Okay, well, let's just put it this way: Bernie Stolar is probably best known as the former vice president of the former president of Sega of America. This guy is also responsible for two key things. Actually three, but the third one's kind of really throwback. But he's known for two big things. This guy is considered the father of the Sega Dreamcast.
Damn.
Like, he is the reason why the Dreamcast came to fruition the way it did and stuff like that. But this guy also helped launch the original PlayStation.
No shit, really?
Yep. Okay,
that guy basically created my childhood.
Essentially, yeah. So basically, during Stolar's time at the at Sega, it was his advice alone that convinced Sega Japan, which is the head entity for all of Sega, to move on from the Sega Saturn, which at that point was less than 1 year into its lifespan. But the problem was, while the Saturn was a decently solid system, it was essentially dead on arrival due to Sega's mishandling of marketing for what was the original competitor for the original PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the PS1 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
Yeah.
Sega Saturn was like it was almost like too advanced for its own good.
It
Like,
was, yeah.
and I think that was the problem with Sega is that maybe they had just like poor marketing, from the get go. I mean, I think that's really kind of what killed Dreamcast is that they didn't push it enough.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize until after like reading up and getting the information ready for this article because I wrote this article for bossrush.net, just to put it out there. But when I was doing the research, I didn't realize that the Sega Saturn.
I just have to use the washroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah. The Sega Saturn released the same year as the 32X. That is Sega was just doing too much.
Wild, yeah.
Sega was doing too much, and
Yeah.
I think ultimately that's what hurt them because I bought the Sega Genesis, I bought the Sega CD, I bought the 32X, and then I didn't even think about the fact that they dropped a whole brand new console that same year.
Mhm.
Well, within a year of like the 32X, which in my opinion, 32X wasn't even a new console; it was just more like an add-on. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But Stolar was also instrumental in the Western release. The Western success of the PlayStation. With a career in gaming spanning from the early '80s up until '99, Stolar's career basically started off. He ran a coin-op arcade business.
Yeah, no shit. It came out a month after Sega Saturn.
It
release
did.
in
Okay,
Japan.
I thought there was a little bit of time between that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No, yeah, because Sega Saturn came out in November 24th. And then 32X came out, that same month. Crying out loud. Jeez. Sega, what were you doing?
Sega was doing the most with what they had.
I was a Sega kid growing up, for crying out loud.
I was more like
fuck Nintendo.
I infiltrated to Sega.
Off a short period. It kept mad.
Sega was doing it for guys like us.
Yeah. Guys like if we were if this was now, if we were our age in 1994, man, I'd be going ham on these systems. 2 new systems in 1 year. Let's go.
2 new systems from the same company.
Practically a month apart from each other. I would throw money at Sega. Hell yeah.
Oh my god, those investors at Sega, they laughed at our parents. Oh my god.
These silly American parents will buy anything for their kids.
Oh god. All right. So in 1980, Stolar founded a coin-op company, a coin-op arcade company, but soon after moved on to Atari, where he worked on various projects spanning from arcade games to Atari's home consoles, and there was a bunch of Atari home. Speaking of another company that threw out hardware like it was candy. Atari released 2 systems in 1 year, and then a year later released another one. I'm talking about the 2600, the 5400, and the 7800.
Yeah, they were the reason for the market crash, the video game market crash.
Yeah, man. Oh, geez. But Stolar, like I said, like this guy was pretty influential because at his time in Atari, he also was instrumental. He was the lead developer for the Atari Lynx. Remember that thing?
Yeah.
That thing that inspired Sega to make the Game Gear? Yeah. After that, Stolar tenured at Sony as the company's first executive vice president for Sony's America branch. What he's best known for during his time at Sony was that this is the guy that was able to rope in like some of the most beloved franchises for the system, including Crash Bandicoot, Ridge Racer, and Spyro the Dragon. Like, he was the one that made all that happen. So
God bless his soul.
Yeah.
And I hope he has a beautiful time in heaven, because those are some of the best games I've ever played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like basically, he basically took Namco from being that company that was just all about like freaking Pac-Man, to like expanding for other things, stuff like that. And we're in Crash Bandicoot. Enough said. Naughty Dog became a household name. After that.
Yeah.
So after seeing the launch of the PlayStation, Stolar then moved on to Sega. And while at Sega, Stolar helped in the knowledge development and the launch of the Sega Dreamcast, but he's also credited with Sega's move to buy a small studio called Visual Concepts, who they would go on and grow up to be called 2K Sports, better known as the company that is responsible for the NBA 2K series.
What did this guy do?
Let's go, Professor LeRon Dawkins, giving us some good video game history.
Hey, I try my best. I
hope you guys are taking notes, because next week we're going to talk about Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Apex Monsters.
I saw that coming. Is that like a bit? It just kind of doesn't stop.
That is so a bit.
Thank God! Thank God! I'm so here for that bit. It's the voice and the glasses push up.
Oh, Stoy had. Oh, wait till he does the Pandery gamer voice. You'll know it when you hear it.
Oh yeah. I think it'll probably pop up when we talk about nostalgia.
All right. So just to close this off on Bernie, prior to the PlayStation's release, prior to Sega's release, prior to Sega Dreamcast's release in North America, Stolar was let go from Sega and received a $5 million severance package.
Very nice.
That's nice, but I also feel like he was underpaid because like the Dreamcast is Sega's most popular system. It's the most popular system. You
talking about sales?
Not sales, no. Not sales,
okay.
No. Pop culture.
Okay,
yeah. Most popular system, pop culture. Now, sales is definitely the Genesis. It's definitely Genesis.
I was going to say, because Genesis obviously was their first.
Man,
put them on the map.
Man,
I shouldn't say that.
The Genesis was eating Nintendo's lunch back in those days.
Yep.
Eating their lunch, stealing its bike. God.
Where's your bike? So they're taking it home with me.
And you know, because Sega Genesis had blast processing, they could get away from you really fast.
All right, and so as we know,
Sega do what Nintendo don't.
Nintendo don't.
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Remember the Saturn commercials where it was like fly because they had knights and they would literally throw a PlayStation off of buildings. God. All right. So as you know, the Dreamcast did well in the US, but globally it lost out to PlayStation 2. And you know what? But all I gotta say is Bernie was probably laughing himself all the way to the bank. I mean, God, this guy had a storied career, in the gaming industry. And I know of his influence and stuff like that. So I know certain people he will be missed and stuff like that. So There you go. Bernie Stolar passed the age of 75.
Well, being in the business as long as he's been, I mean, you're bound to have you have your hits and you have your misses. Like, I mean, it's very rare to be in any sort of like business for as long as probably he has been, 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
To like not have a few hiccups along the way. So like, he still made an impact. Obviously, he made the Dreamcast, which is still to this day a lot of people fondly remembered and is a very beloved system, even though at the time it just didn't receive the success that it did. But
by the way, Sega, shame on you for another damn mini Sega Genesis. Y'all know the Dreamcast Mini was what we wanted. Y'all know this shit. Like, what the hell's wrong with y'all? All right, Stoy, I'm done.
I actually now that you said that makes me mad because now I want a Dreamcast Mini for crap.
Yeah. Like the Genesis Mini version 2 is coming.
I'm holding out hope that Polymega had hinted. Polymega, the company that makes that Polymega retro system, because they have CD-ROM.
Wait, you own one of those, don't you?
Yeah, and I have the CD-ROM version where I could play like Sega Saturn, PlayStation 1 games, Sega CD games.
Oh my God, Sega Saturn, dude.
Yep.
Please play Guardian Heroes. Wait, is it Guardian Heroes?
Yeah, I think they play like about 98% of basically that. Anyway, so there was a hint that the company made to say that there could be a potential for the Polymega to play Dreamcast games, and if that happens, oh my God.
Oh snap!
I have my Dreamcast hooked up to my TV anyway, so but still.
How much does that thing cost? How much does that thing cost?
Too much. It's too much.
Basically, OnlyFans money. Is that what you're saying?
OnlyFans money.
Basically,
Okay.
money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Say no more. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our final news topic for tonight. And this is and we finally got some Xbox news. Is it me or does it feel like it's hard to find like really good, solid Xbox news? Is that what's going on right now?
What?
Did you hear me?
No.
Oh, I was asking, is it me or does it seem like it's getting harder and harder to find like really good, juicy Xbox news right now?
I was about. Sorry, I was about to say, or is it really hard to find some really juicy Xbox games? And then I'm like, I shouldn't say that. I might offend someone.
Both. Because I'm telling you, I think we've seen a shift in video games over the last year or two that everyone's keeping things very, very close to the belt now.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
I really wonder if that's because of the competition.
How do you mean that? Like, not saying I disagree. I just don't know exactly.
Well, no, look at so you know what? Here's something. Like in the last 2 weeks, we had 2 Nintendo Switch Directs.
Okay.
And both of them, essentially, to me, were nothing burgers.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, they're just showcasing a little bit just to appease fans, but they're not showing anything like hugely significant until they really have something significant to show.
Yeah. Which, you know what, I can credit them for playing it safe because, like, I feel like you should play it safe, especially with the way the economy's been lately. Like, for the last 3 years, the economy's been on some bullshit. And, the one thing I said this a long time ago on like an earlier episode of Crossroads, like, thank God the inflation doesn't really affect video games because can you imagine we're just now bitching about games being $70. But can you imagine inflation had been fucking with the price of video games, for the last 20 years?
Playing anything.
I don't think anyone, because video games, Super Nintendo games were $50 when they were coming out.
Shit,
and that was like 30 years ago.
Dude, I spent $80 for Chrono Trigger.
Canadian money?
And then my dumbass, every time it got re-released on a different console, PS1, PC, Nintendo DS, I bought it again with real money.
I was like that with Resident Evil 4. I have like 5 different versions of
Resident
Evil 4.
See, you were the reason why
I could play that game with my eyes closed. The amount of times I fucked back.
Stoy, you were the reason why they keep skipping over a Code Veronica remake. I know.
My fault.
Code Veronica was a game that I actually really enjoyed. I did the
I love that game.
I did the health herb glitch where you always had a health herb.
Oh.
Yeah, so like you did this glitch where you could use a herb and it would never leave your inventory, but you could just never get rid of it. So I ran the entire game with that thing and I'm like, hit me.
Yeah.
Hit me.
Heal.
Great.
Heal.
Great. Yeah, heal.
I never did that, but I did hear about that. So.
Yeah, I never used it either. Like,
if it makes you feel any better, I have 2 copies of Code Veronica for the PlayStation 2. And I have 1 copy for my Dreamcast still, obviously. So
I have the Dreamcast Code Veronica, and I have both the GameCube and the PS2 version.
Let's see, I don't have the GameCube version of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that one's actually pretty expensive. I think the GameCube version is expensive.
I bought it when it was new. I bought it when it was a new game. Shit, if I'm not mistaken, like the GameCube version was only 1 disc.
No, was it?
No, it was 2 discs.
Okay.
There's only 1 game I have, which I have the actual physical of. It's a PS1 game, but I'll save it because it is a nostalgia game, and it is my favorite game across any system. I don't care how new the system is or how good the graphics are. This game is my favorite game, and it will never be the throne will never be taken from this game. Personally.
Okay.
So I will save it though. I'll save it.
I can't wait to hear it.
Code Veronica for the GameCube is retailing or going for $180 right now.
Oh,
God damn.
Shit. Is it just for the physical game? Because I don't have the box anymore.
We're talking about game. Well, if you loose copy, it's like going for like $88. But we're talking like case, manual, games, or the disc itself. Yeah, 180.
God damn
damn.
it. God
Yeah,
damn it.
for Dreamcast, it's going for 40. For PlayStation 2, it's going for about like $15. So, god damn.
You guys,
Okay.
shit.
All right. So let's go ahead and get this last segment out the way. We're talking about Persona 5 Royal right now for the Xbox. So it's coming to Game Pass, as you may already know, things like that. But it's coming with over 40 pieces of DLC, which basically is all the damn
better.
DLC. Of all the damn DLC that came out over the lifetime of the game, which you can check all this information out over at Pure Xbox right now because they're the ones that reported it. When it comes to the Xbox Game Pass, which is actually happening on, what was that date again? Whoops, I forgot. My bad. All right. Basically, Persona 5 is coming. Persona 5 Royal, which is the best edition of the game to get, is coming out. It's coming out with over 40 pieces of DLC, which I think it's actually clocked in at 45. While the bulk of the DLC appears to be cosmetic, there are some notable additions that will grant players buffs and various healing items and stuff like that. A full list of that stuff can be found over at over our BossRush.net article, which has like the entire list plus some other stuff that you may want to check out. The Persona series, if you may not know, is a turn-based JRPG series from Atlas, known for its distinct anime-like style and dynamic stories. I'm sorry, dramatic stories, not dynamic stories.
No, it's dramatic stories.
That follow the lives of teenage heroes. Previously, most of these Persona games were only playable on various PlayStation platforms. However, the mainline Persona games haven't gotten any releases outside the PlayStation, with the exception of a few that were sprinkled on the PC, like Persona 4 Golden, for example, coming out in 2020, which is roughly 8 years after its release of the original PS2 game. And Persona 4 Golden was last seen on the PlayStation Vita. God rest its soul. Exactly. While Persona 3 Portable was released on PlayStation Portable, as the name implies, in 2009, following its initial 2006 release on PlayStation 2. Basically, long story short, all these Persona games were PS2 like greatest hits games, basically. And then let's not forget Persona 5 Strikers came out in 2021 on the Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Windows PC, and that's one of the most highly rated games because it had a different theme to it. It played like a Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warrior style game versus the technical like turn-based RPG games that Persona games are known for.
I think they call it Muso style games.
How'd you know that? You're a nerd.
I'm sorry. I'm calling it like it is.
You're a nerd.
Do you have to play the previous Personas to play 5? Because No? Okay. All right,
no, they're not.
Because I've heard like Persona's a huge gaming title. I myself have never played them. I dabbled with 5 a little bit, but I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who's who, so... Persona's
storyline is essentially the same as Final Fantasy storyline. No, it's loosely connected in name, but it's not really the same.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, and that's just a generic way of me saying that because I have Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, and PS2, but I never played it. And Persona's also offshoot of Shin Megami Tensei. Like.
Yeah, it's all within the same universe. I heard.
Yeah, it's within the same universe. It's all within the same universe, but like it's the characters. The only game where did Persona 5 Royal? Did Joker is the only character that seems to cross over into a different Persona title though, right?
I don't know. I never.
Okay, I don't.
I played like 3 hours of 5 because like.
Actually,
my EXPcast guys tried to make me play it, and
I was about to say like EXPcast and Brody from Diggity are the ones we need to ask about that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Dan on our show, he's a big Persona 4 guy.
Mm-hmm.
So when they announced it was coming to the Switch, he obviously got really excited in our Discord chat. He's like, I'm really excited because now I can play that portably. I can play that on the go. So
Fair, right? Fair.
yeah. No, I'm happy. I'm happy for Nintendo getting it. I mean,
Yeah,
about
me
damn
too.
time.
Me
About
too.
damn time.
Me too.
But
If anything, just for the fact that I'm tired of hearing them bitching about like these games not coming.
that's it right there. That's it right there.
I mean, but then again, for the simple fact is, Persona 5 Royal should have actually came out on the Switch. If you look at these games, I guarantee you, Andre, when you look at the trailer for these games, like they look like they should live on the Switch.
Yeah,
they look like it.
I will argue to anyone there are certain games that should be on certain systems.
I say that. I say that all the time.
Argue that to the life of me.
Let me ask you this: do you have preferential bias? Do you, if a game comes out across all the platforms, do you say, "Oh, I'm getting this game for this system. I'm getting this game for this system"?
Story games like Final Fantasy, Horizon, all those games, if they came out across all platforms, PlayStation. Story games play great on PlayStation. FPSs, I don't know what it is.
Xbox.
Maybe it's the way the controller feels. FPSs live on Xbox.
Xbox and PC.
Don't ever try and play it on a PlayStation. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Actually,
I don't think the gameplay itself is terrible. I think the communities are terrible. And God, yeah. I know people are going to come at me on my social media for saying this, but I don't know. Like I remember playing Call of Duty. I played Call of Duty 4 on PlayStation, and then I played it on PC.
Go on. I was just gonna say I had the same COD for Xbox and PlayStation. Ask me which one I played more. I dare you.
I guarantee you it was the Xbox one.
Hells yes, it was the Xbox one.
Because I played the PC one, and this is back when I had like a freaking potato of a PC, like, and I had like the hot shiny PS3, But for some strange reason, I feel like community is different. For first person shooters, community is different on PlayStation than it is on the other platforms.
It's strange, but yeah, I personally think that certain games live on certain systems, I tried Persona 5. I think it was like free on the PlayStation Store.
So
thank you. Okay, so
it was.
I might try it on the Switch, and I just might enjoy it a bit more. I don't know why, but
yeah. All right. Any final words on any of our news segments? The DualSense controller for Last of Us, Bernie Stolar is passing away. Persona 5. I was about to say PS5.
Just to reiterate what I said, Last of Us coming to PlayStation 5. If you haven't played it, wait for that one, and you will be blown away.
Yeah, for real. All right. Well, that's it for all of our news topics. As always, you can get all the scoop on tonight's topics through the links that I've provided in our stream chat, as well as heading over to bossrush.net to check out all the relevant articles that these came from. And don't forget, you can always continue the conversation with us over on our Twitter page at @PS_Crossroads. Real fast, we have a question from the audience. It's been a while, and I'm hoping like this is the start of a good thing here. Because.
Get those questions in, people.
Get them in. All right, this one comes from our good buddy Stephanie Klimov, better known as @Klimov Author on Twitter. Stephanie asks us tonight, do you think that Sony and Microsoft steamrolled Nintendo as far as summer announcements goes over these past few weeks?
I personally think, I've thought about this for a while. I personally think, hot take, I personally think Sony and Xbox have been steamrolling Nintendo for a while. I could be wrong.
All right.
Personally, I just don't. Maybe it's because I don't look, but I just don't hear as much talk as I do for Nintendo as for the other two. And again, I could be wrong. If I am, please correct me. But it's just, I love Nintendo. I love Pokemon, Zelda, Mario. I love it all, and I would love for Nintendo to kind of come out of the shadows of the bigger boys on the playground and kind of make a name, make a splash. But it's just unfortunate. Daddy. Hey, Bobby. It's just unfortunate that they don't. Thank you. That was my son. Sorry.
Oh no. It's cool. It's cool. We love kids around here.
Come here. Oh. Say hi.
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 Is he shy
You
now?
always do this. You always exclude someone that you want to be.
Okay, so Andre, you haven't been around Crossroads long enough, but Stoy has heard me say this. I feel like Nintendo, they get in their own way. They need to take a few risks, and it all goes back to what I say about the fact that Nintendo is the number one video game company in the world. Like, they can take a few risks, and stuff like that. They're not going to hurt themselves, if they do a few things that seem un-Nintendo like. And I don't just mean all the porn games you can find on the eShop. I don't mean that,
I'll be right back. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, hold up. Porn games?
Wait a minute.
Oh, talk to
Hit the
Steph.
eShop real quick.
Talk to Stephanie about that. She could tell you a few things.
Yeah.
but no, seriously, like I feel like Nintendo, like I don't want to say this in a way that puts it in a bad light, but I feel like Nintendo hides behind Mario way too much. And what I mean by that is when we step outside the games that are like in the Super Mario universe, like you see Mario's influence in other shit that doesn't even apply to Mario. Like if you look
that
hard
man
enough,
is getting his own movie for fuck's sakes.
Well,
like, I'm sorry, but we get it. Mario can do everything. We get it.
And I understand, like, Mario's the mascot for Nintendo. I understand that. But damn, does he have to be in every fucking game in some way, shape, form, or fashion? He's in fucking Metroid.
Is he?
No, I'm being sarcastic on that one.
I was gonna say, did I miss something in Dread?
I don't think he's ever been in. I don't think he's ever been in a Metroid game, but that's one of the few games because he was the referee in Punch Out.
Or Ocarina of Time, you can find posters of him in the castle. Like, listen, I love Mario as the next person. I get it. Mario, but like you said, he's the mascot. We get it. But Mario needs to take a seat. And go up and just chill for a bit, and just chill. Okay.
But the other thing I want to say though is like Nintendo. And I will say they've made better strides with the Switch and stuff like that. We've seen games on the Switch now that we would not think we would have seen on the Switch. For example, The Witcher 3, is on the Switch. Alien Isolation is on the Switch, but then also they make other decisions that don't make any sense. But some of it's third party, but a lot of it's first party because I mean, come on, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 were PS2 games. Those games can fit on a cartridge on the Switch, no problem. Why are they cloud version games? Like A Plague Tale Requiem is getting ready to come out on the Switch because it was announced today in the Direct. That's a cloud version game. I don't understand.
You kidding me? The Plague Tale Requiem that can't run on a Switch. No way. The graphics are too intensive on that ain't gonna fit on a console.
I really wouldn't know for sure because I haven't played the first Plague Tale. But are you saying
that's a AAA game? That's a AAA.
Okay,
game.
are you saying this game because like I know Control is cloud, but that's not an artifact. Artifact that's a bad word when you come to like graphics processing.
Yeah.
That game is graphically intense. That I understand it needs a cloud version of that. Like Resident Evil 7, which is only in Japan.
Plague Tale Requiem definitely can't run on a Switch. No way.
Okay. Well, thank you for schooling me on that one because
Nope.
I will say like like I love the Switch, but I haven't looked enough at like the hardware specs of the Switch to like always know what I'm talking about on that. And I guarantee you, someone's like, that guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Whatever.
Well, I mean, it is actually surprising that you got developers that can actually fit games like The Witcher or games like even Doom, on the Switch, which is amazing. But actually, what's probably most impressive to me is that The Witcher 3 runs on it. Granted, it doesn't run the greatest, but it's probably playing it on the PC with all the settings down.
The fact that it even runs on the Switch is phenomenal.
Right?
That is such a heavy game.
Yeah.
Even on console and PC, like if you don't have a really top tier console,
your system chugs playing The Witcher.
Yeah, and so to have it on a Switch is like phenomenal.
Yeah. So I mean, but ultimately where I was going with this, and then I'm going to actually answer the question in a second. Nintendo plays it way too safe too much. They do. And yeah, for all the games that are out there and stuff like that, like I need to see something really shocking, Nintendo first party. Like I feel like the most shocking game that we've had from first party in recent memory has to be freaking Metroid Dread.
Nintendo has to wake up one day, throw on the big boy pants, go to school, look at PlayStation and Xbox, and be like, "You're not taking my bike home." And if you get beat, you wake up, you do it again. They need to make a splash in the ocean and really shock the world.
Well, I think they don't really need to worry about that because because we gotta look at it like it is. The Switch sells hand over fist, which I don't understand. Where are all these people coming from buying these games? I feel like the video game market should be saturated by now. But at the same time, I also personally know somebody that has 4 different Nintendo Switch systems. So
Why?
I don't
You
understand.
have 4.
The OG Switch, the OLED, and 2 lights. I don't understand. and here's the kicker. This person does not have kids, so I don't understand. I don't understand
why he has 4 Switches. That's why he has 4 Switches, because he has no kids.
Is that the logic? Is that the logic I'm missing?
Yes.
Is this man taking family pictures with his Switches?
Yeah.
My God, I still have 1 Switch.
I still have the
2.
original.
I have 2. I have the original Switch and I have a Switch Lite.
And see, I understand that. I understand you having like the Switch and the Switch Lite. I understand that. I don't understand how my friend has the Switch, the OLED, and 2 lights. I don't.
Okay, the light I can get, but isn't the OLED just the OG? Just like with
a better display.
Yeah,
a better handheld display because
if you play your Switch exclusively on the TV,
you get nothing. You get nothing.
No, so you buy
the only thing you get is the dock now has a built-in LAN port.
Yeah.
So you basically buy the OLED, throw it in the dock, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I can see if you were traveling for like your career, the OLED would be perfect.
Yeah.
But if you buy the OLED, rip home, throw it in the dock, and then play it, I'm sorry, but like you just wasted your money.
Mm-hmm.
Can I be a devil's advocate here and say we should probably move quickly with this before we lose track?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
No, for sure.
All right. So to answer Stephanie's question for me, I feel like that Sony and Microsoft have steamrolled Nintendo just for the fact that I can't speak for Nintendo. As a matter of fact, I have no idea what Nintendo's thinking. I feel like I am more plugged into what Microsoft and Sony may be thinking than I will ever be Nintendo, for a simple fact. But I have a funny feeling that Nintendo is like, there's no E3 coming this year, so we don't give a fuck. That's honestly the way I feel. Because if you look at Nintendo's release calendar, they've got some bangers coming out the rest of the year. Not every game is a banger that I want. The games that I want seem to have no release date, or they keep getting pulled off the release calendar. Advance Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But
Breath of the Wild 2.
I'm not even hyped for that. But what I would be hyped for is a Metroid Prime remake or remaster.
Oh, God.
And Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
I would sell myself on the street for a Twilight Princess Wind Waker remake. I'm sorry.
There you have it.
For a bundle, I would sell myself. That fast.
They could have done that at the 35th anniversary. They could.
Yeah.
I know. There was so much they could have done, but it's just
Andre's out there right now saying, "If you see me in the corner, mind your business."
Like, mind your damn business. Keep driving.
If I could weigh in on this too, because I do want to blame Nintendo. I do, but Nintendo historically has always kept things very, very, very close to the belt, and we've talked about this before.
That is very true.
Nintendo doesn't announce anything until it's well damn good ready. Like talking like when they announce a game, it's coming out that year, or it's coming out
that's a lie.
6 months.
That's a lie.
No, it comes out pretty damn soon.
I mean, historically, you're correct.
The only exception has been Breath of the Wild 2. They announced that shit way too early, which was hugely uncharacteristic of them.
Mm-hmm.
But in Nintendo's defense, like I said, they announce things generally when things are well and ready. And I really think COVID hit Japan harder than everywhere else in the world, to the
Mhm.
point where I would imagine it probably delayed a lot of their game development
Mhm.
by a
Fair.
lot.
Especially because Japan's culture is they like coming into the office.
Yes,
I've heard
that's their
Japan.
culture. They
I've
don't
heard
like
Japan's
working
work
remote.
culture. Yeah, I've heard Japan's work culture has basically died because like nobody understands how to work from home. And I'm saying that sarcastically. I'm not saying that like nobody knows how to work from home. Like I mean,
No,
I know.
and that's the problem. And that's the problem because, like, that's hampered a lot of development, and they've had to adapt and probably work with smaller teams. Probably worked in multiple different shifts. I can't imagine all the protocols that they have to go through. So
Oh,
I would
must be
imagine
hoops.
that the last year and a half has been really tough for Nintendo because they're still trying to kind of stay true to that whole like we want to announce games when they're ready, but
Mhm.
we have nothing to show for it. And I'm looking at what they've been living on over the last 5 years of the Nintendo Switch's lifespan. The
Mhm.
top 10 games, 4 of them are Pokemon games.
I see
Actually,
that.
no, 3 of them are Pokemon games. The rest of them are Super Mario games and Legend of Zelda, Animal Crossing, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
And
so like
Ring Fit Adventures up there, which is actually kind of shocking. But
interesting.
that's the thing. Nintendo has kind of lived off of Mario and Pokemon.
Nintendo lives off its first party, but and you know what? I have a funny feeling Nintendo had to learn how to live off its first party because remember in the in the Wii U days, they really pissed off their third party. Like
Well, yeah.
nobody wanted to come to Nintendo to bring games.
Well, yeah. So they're still trying to kind of probably save face with that. And I think they have. I think the Switch has really turned things around to make it be kind of like third party friendly, but or at least third party friendly space for people to, bring their games to.
Yeah.
But they're still not going to be it's still not going to be as user friendly as maybe Xbox, but
Mhm.
Nintendo has, and this is the thing that Nintendo has a bevy of other properties and franchises in their catalog that they are just not utilizing, and that's where I feel they're,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what you said, they're their own worst enemy because you got so many other dormant franchises that are just sitting there waiting that if they can dedicate teams, if they could even just like farm them out a little bit to like how they tried to do that with Star Fox and working with Platinum Games, with the Wii U, Star Fox Assault or
Mm-hmm.
Star Fox Zero.
Mhm.
Like they need to do more of that, I think.
Because at the end of the day, like we know Nintendo has the money. Nintendo can release a flop. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna be very nice. I'm gonna say out of if Nintendo releases 12 games a year, right?
Mhm.
If 2 of those games are flops, they're not hurting because guess what? Everybody that likes fucking Mario games is gonna burn them up buying Mario Strikers, the next Super Mario Odyssey, whatever that is. Of course, like they're gonna make money off of Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, and then the other Mario games like Mario Party, all that stuff. They're gonna make money off that.
Yeah, for
Mario
sure. Like
Kart?
that. I mean, that's the thing. They can live off those like kind of big franchises. There's a Pokemon game that comes out every year, so
Mhm.
obviously that's a guaranteed money maker for them. Doesn't matter what kind of game it is, it's gonna
And
sell.
guess what?
Mario
Nintendo
games come out every year, so
and
that's gonna be their money maker for forever.
and Nintendo's making super bank off of Pokemon Go.
Oh my god, yeah, let's not even get into that. Like that's not even a Switch thing. That's a mobile thing. And everyone has their phone everywhere and all the time. So now you implement a Pokemon game, which they are obviously a part of. So you do all that math. I mean, like shit. Like I don't even know or want to know how much money Pokemon Go alone has made them. Also, Pokemon Unite, that Coliseum type game.
Yeah.
I guess that's the wrong term, but yeah, that game. So you now have Pokemon Go and Pokemon Unite both on mobile, and now Unite's on Switch. So it's just a plethora of ways that they have kind of lived off first party Mario and Pokemon. And I would say Zelda, but that doesn't really pop out that much. It's just Pokemon and Mario.
Yeah. The last
And
thing
we're
was
done. And we're done. Let's move on.
Okay, fine. Maybe I'll write something up on this.
I mean, it could even be worth like we could do this in a whole like separate episode, but
That's true. That is true.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
That is true because like we're now a games podcast and not just a PlayStation show anymore. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. If you want your question read on the show, tweet us at ps_crossroads or email us at crossroadspspod at gmail.com. Or just actually no, we no longer take questions on the Boss Rush Network Discord, so don't do that. But yeah, there you go. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the big topic for tonight because Stoy, if you want to head this off, I will go ahead and let you take the reins on this one, man. But our buddy here wrote a wonderful article about nostalgia in gaming. And so this segment is called Nostalgia and the Modern Gamer. So Stoy, if you want, you can go ahead and take it away, man.
Yeah, I thought about this like obviously recently when Shredder's Revenge came out, and I kind of was like poking fun at how myself included, how like grown ass men in their late 30s were getting so getting these big ass boners, for this game to be like, oh god, this game reminds me of my childhood. Like people were claiming this to be the game of the year before the game even released. I mean,
That's a bold statement.
They had so much faith in this product. And myself included. I think Corey and I talked about this when we used to run the Arsenal X podcast. When they announced this, him and I both are like little kids, like, oh my god, it's coming. But so it kind of made me think how sometimes we look at games with like rose-colored glasses to be like, oh man, they give you those really big nostalgia vibes.
Mhm.
And this also kind of ties into our Nintendo conversation where like I think a lot of people give Nintendo a pass because of those nostalgia colored glasses. They remember the good times. They remember all those great fond memories that they had of Nintendo. So they're able to kind of look past at certain things.
I totally agree with that. If I could pinpoint a very nostalgia point of gaming, it always goes to Nintendo all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Same with
all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is where I was kind of shocked to find out once I started to kind of do a little bit of deeper research into like, is nostalgia, do these nostalgic feelings, are they a good thing or are they a bad thing? Like, on one hand, they can be a good thing because it can kind of pull us out of a funk, pull us out of a kind of like a bad mood.
We'll leave you back.
Like you have a bad, you're having a bad
we're
day.
We're missing an entire beat from him.
Your childhood, and then
there you go.
Okay, good.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey, you froze. You froze again.
Okay, I'm gonna start over again. So
yeah, do it.
Basically, like when nostalgia. I guess I forgot I don't know where I left off, but like I started kind of researching like, is nostalgia a good or bad thing? And nostalgia is very well known for like kind of getting you out of a funk. Like you put on an old CD or you put on an old movie that you remember watching when you were younger. And like video games too, you put on an old video game and you kind of get in those vibes like, oh man, this brings me back to my childhood where like times were simpler. You were having fun. You didn't have much worries. It was just you and that video game. And what I found with video games is that most of the time when you have nostalgic memories of video games, you're remembering times with other people. You're remembering times with friends. You're remembering times with family. And that's why Ninja Turtles holds that special place in a lot of our hearts, because we remember playing that game with like three other buddies, three other friends at the arcades, or like another friend at home, and just having a blast.
Arguing who was who and all that jazz.
Yeah, and like that's a lot that can be missed nowadays, especially since most of the time we're playing multiplayer games online. We don't have those couch co-op experiences anymore. But we can still harken back to those days of like getting together with your buddies and playing video games in a living room. But I also saw it as a bad thing because it's like, why do we have to constantly live in the past and find enjoyment? Why do we kind of keep living in those moments and just like having that pave the way for, the future?
I totally agree. And I was actually going to backpack off what you said and say nostalgia has a good and a bad side. A good side, would you just explain? Bad side, personally, I will get to when I talk about it. But I just want to say that I agree with you, and I'm going to backpack off what you said, but I will wait.
Cool. Oh no, yeah. Like I said, this is I'm just kind of paraphrasing through my article, kind of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, no, definitely piggyback at any point. But the dark side that I kind of found with nostalgic feelings is that you don't seek enjoyment in new things anymore.
Okay,
So like,
sorry, that's exactly where
yeah,
I was going. That's
yeah,
exactly it. Yeah.
yeah. No, and it's true because like, you know, you saw this with the Ninja Turtles franchise. You know, when you ask guys our age, when you ask like, you know, what was the best Ninja Turtles game, they're always going to go back to those like the arcade version, Hyperstone Heist,
I
Turtles in
swear, I
Time.
always hear Turtles in Time. I always
Yeah,
hear that.
no one ever
Mhm.
talks about like the last 20 years of, you know, Ninja Turtles games, which there have been
No.
some pretty decent ones,
Yeah.
but nothing that obviously that kind of holds that same regard as
2D
kind of like the old
scrollers.
school ones. Yeah, exactly.
2D
Mhm.
scrollers.
And maybe that's where the Turtles needed to stay.
Mhm.
Obviously, as we see with Shredder's Revenge, that is where it needed to stay. So,
Exactly.
but this can kind of stunt your ability to even like new things, to like experience new things, because, you know, especially in long running franchises, like you're always longing for those, like, you know, kind of older games, or those kind of, I had better memories of this game when it came out, and I could just never, you know, you could never recreate those same feelings. So it gives you even more bigger sense of depression, because can I not enjoy things anymore? Can I not really, you know, am I always going to be stuck in the past wanting things that I had that I don't have anymore?
Yeah, you're
Is this
you're always chasing that feeling.
Yeah.
And
And
like
and that's what it is. In the
Yeah.
is
article, it
this
said you're chasing something that's there. You're always wanting to think that the grass is greener on the other side,
Yeah.
but like, you know, it's not. And you get there and it's like, you
It's
know,
like, okay.
is this
Yeah.
why I would rather go back and play Mega Man 2 and 3 than sit down and try Elden Ring?
Yes.
I mean, yeah,
I
it could be. It could be. It
I
could even stunt your ability to like enjoy maybe the other Mega Man games. Like
I
you have such an
personally
affinity for to two. I'm sorry, like
Yeah,
one
no,
second.
no. Sorry.
So you have such an affinity to two that you just don't want to enjoy the other ones, because you're always thinking back to, like, you know, Mega Man 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done, Andre.
No, that was great, and you basically hit the points that I was gonna say. But one point that I'll say is the one thing that nostalgia, I almost say, has ruined for me is nowadays I'm so sick and tired of a battle pass, of a paywall, of loot boxes, of fucking so many things in games where you almost have to pay to play, and I'm burnt out from a lot of them. And it almost, like, when you guys approached me about the nostalgia topic, I kind of sat back and I thought, I'm like, okay, like, what does that mean to me? And to me, it means booting up your Xbox, playing Halo, playing the mission where you crash on Halo, you leave the pod, and you're on Halo, and you're like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling you will never, unfortunately, you will never get again. I'm sorry, but that is a moment that is stuck in time forever. The first time you pull the Master Sword out of the stone and you turn into Adult Link, that's a moment in time you will never get.
Yeah.
The first time you catch your first Pokemon in fucking Pokemon Blue or Red, moment in time. There are moments in games that I had as a child, and that I had as a child and younger, that I will never get again. And it's really sad moving forward playing games that I can not almost enjoy because I just can't ride that feeling, and it sucks. There's a lot of games that I looked at that I'm like, I simply just don't want to play this because I'll maybe start it and then like 10 minutes be like, this is boring. Like, I find myself Googling gameplay of old games and like playing Destiny and having it on my second screen, stopping Destiny and then just watching the game, and I'm just like, this is more enjoyable than playing a game that I built my computer to basically play around. I'm just enjoying watching something I can watch on my phone, and it's sad to think that games are almost moving in that direction.
You know what's amazing? I have access to a lot of video game systems, including my PC and stuff like that, and I burn up a lot of hours during the weekend just downloading and running emulators on my PC.
Yeah.
When I know I have games like The Quarry, like the Mass Effect Legendary Edition,
Like the Master Chief Edition, Halo 5, like tons of great games. But I'm sitting here contemplating, do I want to drop $63 on the Nintendo 64 expansion for my Switch or play something else? And I'm like, low key, I kind of want to drop the money.
Yep, and here my dumbass is with this entire backlog of games playing Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions.
And see, and that's the dangerous part of it. That's the dangerous part of it is that there's games coming out now that are phenomenal games, great games coming out right now with great new experiences, vast new experiences. But you know, that's where the dark side of it is, because it's like you're still longing for the old and you don't care about experiencing anything new.
You know, when I read your article, the statement that came out from the doctor, I don't have it in front of me, but the statement that came out about the doctor about, you know, how we deal with nostalgia, well, how we center ourselves in nostalgia and stuff, and the way he explained something, which I can't remember it, so I'm not gonna badly paraphrase it here, but definitely check out Stoy's article, which I put in the stream chat here, and you'll be able to find on BossRush.net.
I'll definitely have to check that out.
Yeah, sure. But there was one thing he said, and you know, like I actually expanded it outside of video games because my roommates get on me all the time. Is like, why are you always watching Star Trek? Why are you always watching why are you always rerunning Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that? And you know, and when I read the doctor's words that were in your article, Stoy, it made me realize, like, you know, nostalgia is our safe space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's something we do. It's something we do when it doesn't have to be necessarily something that stresses us out. But for example, just the idea of going on to something new can be the challenge by itself, and it's easier to go and fall into a safe space or a safe habit, and nostalgia fills that void. You know, and yeah, it's actually detrimental to our growth and whatnot, because guess what? As gamers or people who watch TVs and movie shows and stuff like that, it doesn't matter. But as gamers, you know, it stunts our ability to like try new things out. You know,
I'm gonna read what I think is the quote that you're referring to.
Okay, go for it.
But the quote is: "For some people, nostalgia and unprocessed losses are a significant factor in feeding depression. There is a constant feeling that the best parts of their lives are past, trapped somewhere in the memory of bygone days." Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's it.
100%.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, that was it.
And that's where you think like you can't enjoy video games anymore because you thoroughly enjoyed them as a kid, and then you're finding you keep chasing that high that you had, you know, as a kid, and you just want more and more and more and more. It's almost like an addiction, so to speak. You're trying to chase this high.
It's low key like a gaming addiction.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a terrible gamer. I just feel like sometimes it's a chore to start a new fucking game.
It is because even like with what, you know, Andre was saying, like you got all these facets of video games that we didn't have back then. You know, we got these loot boxes, we got DLC. I mean, we got games that are like 70, 80 hours long, where it's like you really feel like you want to complete a game, but then all of a sudden when you find out that, you know, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is 120 hours to fully beat the game, it's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I want to go play.
I don't have that much time.
It's like, bitch, I'm gonna go play Tetris.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play Tetris. So I'm gonna play Mega Man that I can knock out in like a couple hours or something.
Look, I will start Assassin's Creed, move my character a step, stop it, and be like, yeah, I played it. It was great for sure.
Hey,
it was great. It was a great experience.
Oh, I am so guilty of that shit. Sometimes I will like RPGs. RPGs are the worst for me. Like sometimes I will play basically the opening of the game, and then I will never touch it again.
Yeah.
I think the last great single player game that really, really, really sucked me in, it's a tie between two of them. It's The Last of Us 2 and The Ghost of Tsushima. Those were the last two
solid titles.
Those were the last two games that really like I was like, I can't put down the controller because I want to play more. Other than that, like from when those games came out to this talk right now, there's been no game where I've been like, I can't put this down. Like I'll play it and be like, okay, cool,
Yeah.
and so it's just it's
I'll-
so hard to find a game.
I'll give you a more recent game. Mass Effect 3. Like I played Mass Effect 3 more times than I played 1 and 2 combined. And 2 is a great game. I played 2 a lot of times too, you know,
Right.
stuff like that, you know. And I say more recent
Was it-
even though you just said The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, but
Yeah.
I meant a more recent game that I've been playing recently, you know, stuff like that. Because
Isn't 3 the better one in the franchise? I could be wrong.
it's the better
Depends on who you ask.
it's the
Depends on who
better
you ask.
it's the better adventure, but it's not the best. It's not the better story game.
Oh, okay. I just know that like when it
Actually-
comes to those games, there's one of them that's like better than the other. I just couldn't
Re-
remember.
Remind me to say this when we get to our Mass Effect 3 standard definition story. But I feel like the reason why Mass Effect 3 got such a bad deal is because people beat the game with expectations, but the DLC is what made up for it. The DLC is what actually enriched Mass Effect 3. The
Well,
story DLC.
Yeah,
Like
some of the
Omega,
story DLC.
Omega, the Citadel, Leviathan, you know,
Mhm.
like they enriched the game, and some people didn't really experience all that, and they're pissed.
Yeah, which kind of sucks because that was EA coming in with like, oh yeah, we need to have story DLC, you know,
Yeah.
and make people pay extra for it, which,
Yeah.
you know, that's become a cancer on video games in general. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, Assassin's Creed is the most recent, you know, criminal of that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yeah, the
Uh,
you know, and that's the thing where like you know, I mean, we could even like go back to recently, like where you know so many people have fond memories of like the earlier Mass Effects, and then Andromeda. I don't think even if that game was good, even if that game came out good, like
It was
no bugs, no
doomed. It was
glitches,
doomed.
it was doomed on arrival because it tried to do something new and the fans weren't ready for it.
I
And
played
that's
it and I didn't enjoy it that much.
See, I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, I looked past the bugs. I enjoyed my time with it. Was it as good as the original trilogy? No, but I still enjoyed it because I really had to kind of like rip out that nostalgic part of me. And it's like I had to forcefully take it out to say, no, this is not the original Mass Effect trilogy. We're going into uncharted territory. So try to go into it with open eyes. Try to go into it with like an open mindset to say, I really want to experience something new.
That's fair. That's fair. And to backpack off what you said, LeRon, nostalgia can be outside of gaming as well. Like for example, big Star Wars guy. Like I said, I'll watch Star Wars sometimes just for the shits of it because it brings me back to a time where it was hell. I watched the first 2 episodes of Kenobi with a freaking lightsaber in my hand because I have 2 of them and my Jedi outfit on, just because I was
Now
so
who's the nerd? Now
Ooh,
who's the nerd?
I was just about to say nerd.
because I was so jacked up as a Star Wars
Yeah.
fan. I'm like, this brings me back to when I was watching episode 1 in theaters. The plethora of times I've watched 4, like just I was like, this is my one moment that I'm just gonna just live in for like an hour. And then when it was done, I was like, okay, I have my time. It's over. I have to move on and kind of, you know. But yeah, it's just like nostalgia can be anywhere. Any old retired person can go buy a car and rework the car to be like an old classic car because it reminds them of something. You can go to there's certain places in Vancouver where I will go to that it reminds me of playing Pokemon on my Game Boy and walking around with my friends. There's certain sounds, smells, there's tons of things that are unbelievable to gaming that bring you back to a sense of joy that's also sad at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of talked about that in my article too. I did make reference to, you know, even like visiting old stomping grounds, like, you know, going to maybe your old high school or going to some of the old places that you used to hang out as a kid,
Yeah.
you know, and just kind of you getting those like flooded memories and just saying like, you know, your experiences with friends at the time or with other people and just say, man, those are good times. And like you feel, yeah, you can't enjoy things like you used to. You
Mhm.
feel that way, but you can. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You need to kind of get rid of that whole mindset to say, I can't enjoy things anymore like I used to. You
Yeah.
need to get rid of that mindset to say, there is so much else out there that I haven't experienced
Mhm.
and that I need to kind of like get myself into trying. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. You either
Uh,
need to you either need to get rid of it or accept that they're gone.
yeah.
You either need to basically
I think it's both. I really think it's both.
yeah, you either need to like go to your old stomping grounds and be like, I had fun here,
Mhm.
but I need to move on because I just have to. So
yep. Here. The one thing I'm gonna say is ultimately, like the one thing about video games is it's a hobby that it makes us feel good. Even when we just want to chuck a controller so hard at television and it punches into the next time zone and whatnot.
you still throw it and pick it up and still play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, nostalgia has its ups and it has its downs, like stuff like that. It's fun. It's a great thing that we do. We love to do it. Hell, it's why the three of us are on this podcast right now talking about it and stuff like that.
True.
And yeah, real fast, I did ask you guys, hey, if you had a small list of games that make you feel nostalgic, like throw them out. We're not gonna do a whole like quick retrospective or whatnot. Just hit me with the titles you have. I want to hear it, and let's see what we got.
Andre, go first.
Super Mario Sunshine. Okay, so backpack a bit. The game that I was talking about that I have the actual copy of. That's my like number one game. Legend of Dragoon for the PlayStation 1. Yeah. That to me is home. Like I will watch hours of gameplay for hours. Chrono Cross, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, and Pokemon. Some notable mentions. I asked some of my friends. Shout out to my guys, Stoj and Incog. Stoj says playing Pokemon on the long drives to Vancouver because he lives in Calgary. So when he was younger, playing Pokemon in the back seat for hours and hours, and then Incog says playing DBZ Fighters on his PS5, and then that taking him back to when he would watch Dragon Ball, waiting for the next episode.
That's cool.
So yeah, so that to what I said, that is going back to not just games, but to just life itself.
Mm-hmm.
Story, what you got?
Ninja Gaiden 2 for the Nintendo.
Damn.
That always brings me back. It's one of those things, even just listening to the music, popping the music in. Like actually, it's a funny story because I was out of a buddy's house over the weekend, and he has a pool table, so we played pool in the basement. So we like took turns playing music, and for some reason, I had this article fresh in my head, and preparing for this podcast, and then like I was like, dude, I want to listen to the Ninja Gaiden 2 soundtrack. So I pulled that shit up on YouTube, man, and it's like just hearing the music brings you back. Not even just playing the game.
Did you instantly beat him at pool?
No, it wasn't until I started playing the Mega Man soundtracks that I started. My game changed. But
Story, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Please tell me you checked out that You Can Beat Video Games YouTube channel that told you and Austin about it a while back.
Yeah.
Because man, like, you want to talk about some nostalgia? Like, damn, like I watched his replays of Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna say this. I know we weren't gonna talk about I know we weren't gonna do like retrospectives and whatnot. The production value alone in the Ninja Gaiden series was amazing. Like you had movie clips.
Honestly, and that's what it was. Like the Ninja Gaiden series was the first to really bring cutscenes.
Yeah,
like that was like, I mean, that wasn't heard of. Like video games with like hugely developed stories wasn't really a big thing at the time. But like the Ninja Gaiden series, we're talking between every level. There was like cutscenes. There was like there was acting. There was a purpose. Like you knew what you were doing. It wasn't just you're a ninja, go beat the enemies. Like there was a mission. Link to the Past. I get those nostalgic feelings every time I bust out of the house with trying to find my uncle. It's pouring rain.
Yeah,
Music is hitting. Like that whole game that's still to this day my favorite Legend of Zelda game of all time. I was a Sega Genesis kid, so Hyperstone Heist was what I grew up on. Turtles in Time, great game, but I feel Hyperstone Heist was better because I played that more. Shinobi 3 for the Sega Genesis. That was another soundtrack I played on Saturday night. That shit slapped so hard. But Shinobi 3 was like Ninja Gaiden on steroids. Like it was so much more fast paced. It was, so much faster just in general. And I don't know, it was such a more powerful game for me. And then Streets of Rage 2. Every time I play that,
Woo!
I try to play that every year. I try to play that every year. It just,
Back.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
throwbacks.
Yeah.
All right.
And lastly, honestly, any Mega Man game 1 through 5.
Okay. I like it.
And Illusion of Gaia for the Super Nintendo. Sorry.
Damn.
Okay.
All right. So I've got a really small list here. I've got 6 titles.
We're really small. It's only 6 titles.
yeah. It's 6 titles because it was Stoy.
Dude,
Stoy.
I could have came up with 20 or 30, and I like
easily.
Yeah, Stoy said Mega Man 1 through 6, and Mega Man 3 is on my list.
I said Mega Man 1 through 5.
Oh, 1 through 5. I'm sorry.
I didn't much care for 6.
6 was a stinker.
Yeah,
it was, but not. But I don't care. It doesn't stink as bad as 7 did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So my nostalgia list, and you know what? There's a couple of hard games in here, by the way. We're gonna kick it off with Super Ghouls and Ghosts. It doesn't matter arcade or Sega Genesis version because Sega Genesis was basically arcade perfect at that time.
Yep.
On PS1 there was that game Einhander.
Ooh.
Yes. Andre's looking like, what's that?
Did I ever play that?
Square. Okay, so it's the only.
I'm gonna have to tell you a story about that. The arcade version of that game.
It's the only
that happened to me.
It's the only shmup that Square ever released. The only one.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned this earlier, but Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions, specifically War of the Lions, even though I could play the original PS1 game and still have fun. The NES version of Bionic Commando, and Metroid Zero Mission.
Ooh.
Metroid Zero Mission. I there are more I could mention, but I'm gonna stop there. Man.
Okay. Okay. You guys jogged my memory. Tenchu
Ooh.
and Jet Force Gemini. Sorry, I had to get those out. Tenchu and Jet Force Gemini.
I'm not gonna fault it. Super Mario Brothers 2, but it's gotta be the Game Boy Advance version.
Okay.
It's gotta be the Game Boy Advance version.
Honestly, we could have a whole pod about just old games. Honestly.
Hey,
starting from Sega to like Xbox, we could just go. Easy.
Crossroads Plus. We need to make that happen. All right, Stoy. Wonderful article, man. Dude, like it definitely got me. But you know what? Then again, most of your articles when you do these actual like feature pieces and all that stuff, like they're always like good made you think articles. Andre, you gotta go back. Just go to bossrush.net and read his article. Video games are not art.
I'm gonna have to for sure. Yeah, I do agree.
That was the day I became the bossrush.net villain.
Oh no, really? Oh,
yeah.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I knew it would attract ire from people, and I was obviously fine with that. I knew not everyone's gonna have my opinion, on it, but that's okay. That's okay.
Stoy is probably the reason where that "you need to leave" meme came from.
Yeah.
You need to leave.
All right. Well, that's our show for. We're wrapping up. That's it for us tonight. Yeah. As always, we'd like to give a big thanks to you for tuning into the Crossroads podcast, as well as Andre. Thank you for actually wanting to be one of us, man.
No problem. Hey, again, thank you for having me. I am glad to be here. This was great. I mean, this was just kind of a full send, and I couldn't be happier talking about things I love with two awesome people.
He called us awesome, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's pretty awesome too.
Clip it. Someone clip it.
Before we forget this.
Yeah, basically.
Yep. All right. So before we head out, here's how you can get connected and stay connected with the crew. Andre, you go first. Plug yourself, man.
YouTube, Andre Wilson. Right now I'm trying to get into vlogging. I also do photography. I have some shorts on there. I'm working on some other things, so stay tuned on the YouTube. Twitter, Andre Wilson again, ANNDRE_WILSON. That's Twitter and Instagram. I'm slowly becoming more active on Twitter than Instagram. Instagram's more for photography, so if you're into that or you want to check that out, you can do that. But yeah, Twitter, I'm trying to get more active, talk to people more, promote things more, just kind of be more in the Twitterverse. So check me out there. You can find me here now as well. Other than that, that's all she wrote.
All right, cool. Stoy, you're up.
You can follow me on the EXP Cast. We're a video game podcast with the Boss Rush Network. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at EXP Cast, and then also my personal Twitter at Stoy MKE8.
All right, cool. As always, you can find me on social media, various other places by just looking up Exodus 803, EXODUS 803. So just think social media, Twitch, YouTube. That's my PlayStation Network ID as well as my Steam ID. And there's various other projects I'm on. Like you guys heard, like the Mass Effect Standard Definition with me and Stoy. I'm part of that. I'm part of the Boss Rush podcast, where you've actually probably met Andre already.
I've been on there twice now, so.
Yep. I'm also the lead host for Boss Rush After Dark, which, head over to bossrush.net. Like check out the Patreon. You'll learn more about it. Before we head out, real quickly, what's going on over at bossrush.net right now? Ouch, our buddy, our contributor, asks, what video game character should retire? You guys want to take a stab at that real quick?
Mario.
As soon as I heard what video games what characters should retire, I was like,
Mario. Yeah.
You can't script this sometimes. You can't.
Andre's gonna fit right in.
Yeah, definitely.
That was not scripted in any way, shape, or form. That was off the top of the head. Yeah. Literally, yeah.
Yeah. So check out Alch's
That's so funny.
Just go over there and check it out. It's the June 20th edition of the Boss Rush banner. Also, musician Aaron Grubb is back with another classic video game musical cover, this time featuring Metroid. Check it out. Head over to bossrush.net and check out David Lasby's write-up on it right now. If you like cool music and you like video game throwbacks, a little bit of nostalgia, there you go. We also mentioned earlier in the show. But if you want to get the lowdown on today's Nintendo Direct, our buddy Stephanie Klimov definitely has you covered in the recap of the June 2022 Nintendo Mini Direct. There you have it. All that and more can be found over at bossrush.net. So head over there and check out all the editorials and shows and all the other good stuff from our ever-growing family of contributors and creators. We're always looking for more really cool gamers and nerds to hang out with us, so think about joining the Boss Rush Network Discord, where there's even a Crossroads server, so you can hang out and be one of us, be dude bros, As always, you can chat with us and keep the conversation going by hitting us up on Twitter at PS_Crossroads. This is all to dish on more news, events, and topics while we're getting ready for the next installment of Crossroads. Hey everyone, this has been episode 86 of Crossroads. Come back and join us next week in our new home, YouTube, for another episode of the show.
So if you hit that subscribe button.
Don't forget to smash that like button.
And leave a comment on your favorite nostalgic game.
Good one. And also don't forget, turn on notifications for when even more content goes up on YouTube. YouTube.com.
When we go live, yeah.
Yeah, youtube.com/Exodus803. Also, if you're listening to the audio version of the show, remember to share, rate, and review us wherever you check out our shows. And that's it. We're done.
That's all, folks.
One last thing, because we're a part of the Boss Rush family, Boss Rush Games family. We want you all to have a great night, and please remember to be you, be more, play games, and be better. Man,
Hey,
Corey comes with the most inspirational like slogans, doesn't he?
Be you and be better.
All right, everyone. It's been fun. You guys have a good night, and we will see you all next week.
later.
Bye-bye.